And like, no matter what the size of the tournament, does that help you practice? Is it just fun? Like, what's your thought process with that?
So this is gonna be like one of the probably boomer moments, because I've been I guess around the scene for a while now. But funny story. Henry told me this story at Next Level, and he always had the save it for national mindset. So like, you would save the stuff, but I don't believe in that save it for nationals thing. Like, if we're all getting better together, we're all gonna be better, and then we can all do better at tournaments all together. Like, I like seeing the New York scene all do good. I was rooting for Kudo the entire every time I go to like, every time Kudo was at Combo Breaker or CEO, I'm rooting for Kudo. But I've been rooting for Kudo because he's been training with us in New York, and it's like cool to see him getting better. I'm always rooting for like the New York players to like do good, shine, whoever it is. It's just like, I want to see New York do good.
It's that I always say, when it comes to you, me and Brian say this, that you are the most consistent player like that I've ever seen. As far as, I don't mean just tournament results, I'm talking about like, if I see you playing a casual match, a ranked match, a Capcom Cup Grand Finals, NLBC, it does not matter. You seem to play at 10 out of 10 regardless. Whereas, you know, I don't know if you know, but for most of us, like, if it's casuals, you know, we not sweating like you out on, you know what I'm saying? We relax and enjoy ourselves a little bit. But, you know, even outside of that though, like in all seriousness, even if you really are just playing ranked or whatever, eventually sometimes your brain might just kind of like go into cruise control mode. Why is it like that you don't seem to ever switch to that? And, you know, is that something that you're conscious of? How do you not really run out of like mental stamina to keep playing at that level no matter what? And do you agree with that's what you do?
I'm not, like, I guess trying. I mean, I am trying in tournament, but like when I'm playing like CFN, or like in casuals, if I'm playing like Shine, or if I'm playing like Shine or Brian or Punk or whoever, then usually I'm like trying because I'm trying to replicate like a tournament scene. But like, if I'm playing like in ranked or something, you know, I'm usually just like, you got the script on what you're going to do, or like what you're trying to practice, and like the script beats 99% of the player. So it just be like that. I'm not like, I don't know what else to say. It just be like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of like your strategy, right? Like, I think that allows you to play at that level for so high because it's so internalized, such an effective strategy where you don't have to switch it into high gear unless really necessary. Like, I think that comes from enough practice, experience, and just understanding, a deep understanding of the game, right? It's not something that you can just do automatically. That's a talent in and of itself, because that's the difference between system 1, system 2 thinking, right? Like, what are you consciously thinking about? The less you have to consciously think about, the better you can play for longer. So that's definitely a skill within itself to be able to do that, even though I get it, sometimes in ranked just flowchart and wins, but your flowchart is very good.
A lot stronger than
very good.
Everybody else in the scene. Yeah.
So we're definitely pushing time, but you know we have to get one last question in, because this is the big one. I mean, we hinted at it earlier, right? You got Combo Breaker. You got the CEO belt. The big one is coming up. EVO 2022, the first offline EVO we've had for years. Obviously, in the Western Hemisphere, all eyes are on you right now. And the only thing that's been left to be tested is the rest of the world. You have Europe, you have Asia, Japan. You know, the international competition is coming. How are you feeling going into this EVO?
You know, I'm feeling good. Like, to be quite honest, going into Combo Breaker and going into CEO, I wasn't like, you know, too stressful on myself. I feel like if you stress out about a tournament, you're just shaping yourself up for failure. That happened at me for North American Regional Final in 2019. I was like so stressed out because I was like, man, I gotta make Capcom Cup because I was so close on the point, and I played so bad that tournament, but luckily I still got in. So I feel like the less stressed I am going into an event is definitely always the better. I didn't really like prep. I didn't prep super hard for Combo Breaker. I was just going there to have a good time, not prepping too much for a CEO, going there to have a good time. So I'm gonna do the same with Evo.
Bro, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I appreciate you pulling up on us and everything, man. For my money, the best player in the world, but of course, I guess we'll see at EVO. The reigning Capcom Cup champion, XSET's very own. Appreciate you, brother.
And there we have it. I mean, Idom, I'm definitely interested to see how far he can go this EVO. And this EVO is not only EVO, it's also a qualifying spot for the Capcom Cup. Adam has a few ways to qualify here. He might take one of the most difficult ways, I feel like, personally, to qualify. But that said, if you want to find your chance to qualify, you can head over to CapcomProTour.com and check for your region CPT event and sign up today. If you want to earn your spot on the Capcom Cup, there's no easy way to do it. You just got to find the way for you, and this CPT event for your region might just be your time to shine.
And of course, that's not the only way that you can shine. Like Brian said, there's multiple options. So if you prefer to have a different type of grind, you want to be able to prep, have month-to-month tournaments right there in your local region, make sure you guys head over to CapcomProTour.com to learn more about the World Warrior program. Make sure you guys sign up, get that work in, and try to fight your way in to Capcom Cup.
But that said, Rob, we're not doing World Warrior today. That's not what it's all about. You know, there's a time for the grind and there's a time to perform. And today, it is time for these players who have been putting the work in for a whole year. One of the most disputed regions. Will an old favorite return to claim his spot atop of the throne, or will a new challenger rise up to take their spot in the Capcom Cup? Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading into the top 8 for CPT Asia Southeast.
You won't know what hit you.
Let me have some fun.
Let's get this mission started. This will be a good fight. Got you in my sights. Neutralized. Predictable. Time to end this. Fire. Double. 7. I'm just on another level. All riders have to strike out on their own.
Let's do this.
Hello，等佢開始啦而家。Hello.
Fighting game fans from all around the world, this is time for Capcom Pro Tour. In fact, it's going to be very specific. Asia Southeast for the top 8. If you guys had missed the top 16 yesterday, what were you doing? Jake and I were going through the whole thing. We highly encourage you guys to check out. He's been handing me way too many Red Bulls, but I'll tell you why. Because this is going to be an extravagant event. We talked about this with the pre-show with Rob TV as well as each and every one of these players from the community. We've seen saddle for commentary. Fantastic. Looking forward to that. As well. But for the most part, you guys are here for
其實帶嘅人過得㗎啦，佢啲 gear 咧鞋啊或者即係嘢飲都喺嗰度買，鞋可以租咯，30蚊，跟住可以近你就得啦。咁啊，出去叫埋你咯，睇下你方唔方便。多數都係禮拜4 係唔知邊日放工，跟住之後大家都冇嘢，大家都得閒而家咪入去。反正我係玩1個零月，跟住其他人就好似都再少啲，可能玩咗1個月，甚至再少啲，鬥樓大家都。
One of the best players
都多人又唔係多人嘅，都可以，即係你預大概個場可能有星期5會少啲嘅，點解10個人？平時可能有廿個。咁啊對住幅牆嗰度，不過場好大嘅嘛，慢慢玩。咩人玩？我咪又係老爹 Chris Swan 咯，老爹 Chris Swan 咯 ，West 就好爬得嘅，所以佢係嗰啲就係嗰啲周遊列國去爬嗰啲嚟嘅，即係佢今日九龍灣，聽日去旺角，後日去南區度爬嗰種咯。好難捕捉嘅，其他就出現過嗰啲又玩咗1日就棄咗 game 嗰啲又我唔撐住啦，可能佢會再復出嘅。到埋咯，睇下都1個禮拜爬1日嘅。
And we got to see a perfect example because that grand finals
佢有分
on the Akira.
So
obviously already has the matchup knowledge there, already has a win in the books. And going into this, you probably feel pretty favorable.
But going into it, right, we're talking about the winners going up first, right?
Yeah.
We have Davlo versus Bells, Brandon versus SKZ. We kind of gave our thoughts on what we were expecting to be our highlight match from the winner's side. But one thing to highlight is that Davlo actually put in a lot of work and taking down a bunch of
啲路線真係好易，啲路線真係，我覺得人係爬唔到嘅。咁啊睇下佢邊日，睇下佢咩路線，啲路線睇下點定 set。跟住好似每1個月就換一3幅牆嘅，每1個月就換1幅咁樣。咁啊下個禮拜好似換咗1幅，啱好玩個試新場、試新路線咯。有玩嘅，我都玩咗成個月都。
That Guile was just textbook lockdown, textbook oppression from every single moment. It did not feel like Vicarian got out of the right side of the screen. It was rough.
It was a little rough, yeah, but I mean, there's just so much pressure on the line as well. Like, you may not get the optimal strategies that you were practicing for up until the top 16, right? It just so happens because there's a lot of pressure on the line, especially with a big stack of cash. With every top 4 in each and every one of these CPTs, right? Top 4 prize pool
講翻比賽啦 ，Top 4就 prize pool 5000美金啦，呢個係咁啊 total 咁啊，如果而家港幣就大概4萬左右。咁啊應該都係唔係即係唔係除4啦，咁啊應該都係6-3-1咁樣分啦，或者可能5-4-3-2-1咁樣分啦，唔知點分。
Only is the money on the line, you also get that CPT spot if you get first place.
3-2-1㗎都係。
And the only other way to get another Capcom Pro Tour spot for your region.
第一咧就可以入呢個 Capcom Cup。如果唔係咧就 offline 打到真係嘔㗎。
For one particular
咁100個人入邊得個人入到 Capcom Cup 嘅啫。
Oh yeah. It's gonna be quite the challenge, right? That's one of the biggest highlights or the biggest underlines we could put for this top 8 bracket, right? How is Sien going to perform? Because he is the household name for this region for the world of Street Fighter V. That's just how it is. That's how we kind of put our focus on. But at the same time, all these cats have such a big shot, right? SKZ with a big breakthrough performance from last year's Street Fighter League. Even prior to that, in his performances in multiple CPTs, right? Bells, I've actually seen a handful of times. Brandon as well. Davlo, my first time personally seeing.
佢哋喺度呢兩個人就喺度努力拖時間。上次都係咧，咁喺度聚集嗰陣時努力咁拖時間。啲選手入場開波，多數第一個應該好快，跟住中間開始咧就開始甩碌咧，就開始即係佢哋就好難咁樣就好難咁樣就。即係拖時間，一路等啲人，一路喺度叫啲人入嚟。
And if it's the morning for you, all morning, maybe the afternoon. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Definitely not here.
It's about to be.
Yeah,
let's get into our
we got some
first
time.
match with some. We do have a quote, at least one quote from each of the matches. I do believe it might be ready. All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, 啤你 I know he is a great player, but I just realized he is 43 years old. That's so godlike. Respect the old man. 老人家，尊重老人家，跟住懟冧佢係咪？43歲嘅軍島玩家，軍島玩家咧普遍都係，應該係老玩家多數都揀軍島，因為軍島係一成不變，即係個打架好固定。咁調翻轉嚟講就係，如果佢以其他角色咧，可能啲老玩家可能因為轉咗 style 咧就棄 game 阿龍嗰啲咁樣搞唔掂，但係交咧就可以照住玩，所以就佢哋就可以唔使轉個 style 就可以就玩落去。
Top performers in their region, despite their age. Like even Japan's like the biggest example.
Exactly.
With someone like the older heads in the
不過見
rocking it out.
我之前睇佢哋即係嗰啲比賽都好多老人家。不過開始啦。
Old man Sako from the mountains.
Aurora 對加油！極勁啊！43歲仲有黑去打呢個街霸。
Like you practice hard enough, you know, people say.
因為啲人咧結婚生埋仔，基本上都可以起嘅。
We're going to see if Dablo is the prime example from the Southeast Asia region. We are starting top 8 today on the winner's side.
基本上就哇令佢嚟 ban 落去啊，確反咗。咁靚 jab 執走咗個後雞。呢個對佢咧就基本上佢要靠嗰個指令球飛埋去捉個雙力波，一靚掂到就啊 Mitty， 咁就唔 confirm 嚟少你。哇！反應過敏，打 reset 死咗啦！打 TC， 因為基本上咧就佢唔係啱嗰一下無啦啦飛咗上天咧，我諗都仲有得打嘅。佢資源好勁，因為飛咗上天即係打個 reset， 仲要 Mitty 打咗個中拳就死咗。哇！直接用佢撞完之後直接撞喎，打後。咁呢個前重拳咧，其實係打唔到踎低嘅。咁其實你見到佢前重拳咧，你踎低打個下中腳咧，有機會可以打翻轉啦。不過當然唔容易啦，都幾快。咁啊，見到係咁試入，其實應該都係暫時仲未見到一個好勁嘅過波技啊，不過幾勁喎。其實我見到加油咧就截到好多偷雞嘅。即係好似無啦啦 V 衝埋佢又好，或者用嗰個呢啲咯，都截到好多哇！加油線行得快嗰啲，哦跳入嚟死咗啦！可以 CA 啊，點解唔 CA 啊？唔 CA 有機會開 VT 嗰壓力就大啦，死咗啦！哦對面都唔睇畫面，唔得啊！呢個 V 先。呢個意思要射埋佢，呢個意思其實擋得切嘅我諗。呢意思好似你唔逼咧係冇眼睛。哦，咁啊跳後避一避先。不過都喂埋咗佢啦。Aurora 全部都係好需要依下。第一個撞中咧就可以嚟。咁啊嚟一次，會三次我都明白嘅，因為你3次捉中咧就暈。但係只不過3。
Boom did not have the right time
Okay.
meaty right there, but
哎呦！哇！呢個心靈感應升龍拳，第一次就係佢因為呢個升龍拳咧升，即係無啦啦升擋咗就死咗，但係今次又中就 OK。但係呢啲咁賭嘅嘢都係佢唔建議出太多。OK， 又無啦啦打中，到只頭 reset， 但係仲有一血，哦冇啦，一實咁嘅下中腳，1-0。咁啊，基本上其實都見到啲咩過波啲咩啊，前跳就係最好嘅過波技能。你只要肯前跳就過到波㗎啦。
You know, if you get traded by the flash kick, at least you're still in neutral. You can't really get a good Oki situation from that.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
應該呢兩個人都唔會轉角㗎啦。巴里都係加油玩家更加唔會轉角啦。佢因為個加油玩家第二隻角色嘅。即係轉嘅話就即係基本上佢係直接個轉咯，你唔會即係你唔係副角嗰啲其他嘢。直接唔用軍龍。
And I love this in between the booms, you know, just
咁啊抽獎腳，抽咗4碼。
Check maybe build battles going for any kind of dash, any kind of forward movement, and peppering in the low forwards as well, just as we were seeing right there.
呢個波咧，一日解決唔到，一日都好尷尬。可以儲嗰啲火二波，或者放波同鬥放波燒一燒佢嘅，都可以諗下。不過問題就係，如果鬥放波太近咧，佢可以放波然之後掃腳，都唔係一件好事。哇！幾上下重腳，喂靚到頭殺咗啦！
if the sonic booms didn't burst her eardrums, it was definitely the flash kick to the chin.
Yeah, the upside down kick. I mean, my man holds himself in suspension. All right, like.
Part of the Air Force, man. That's part of the
直接攬佢有計。
The air pressure control.
Yes.
佢而家負浪靜喎，一時攬咗成前好似係。
Upside down, but not out in this match. One round away.
咁啊，繼續喺放電喺度壓制，唔左邊，因為揸翻都幾快嘅，好多次都係咧。即係偷雞都係成功 jab 到，幾犀利。
Actually didn't check the dash this time around. Sonic booms to kind of reset the situation, slow him down a little bit. The anti-air is not.
又埋到去啦 ，reshift。哇！準備想一時再撞個波，但係點知對面撞正一時波。咁冇計，都係啦。放個 handy 之後入去都係個方法，都加油嘅。得個電行得夠慢。喂啊，扮得唔靚啊！有機會搣到個波拳咧，就可以攞到個 high hit 㗎啦。哎呀，撞埋，我又截到，咁就好一個打頭二砸死啊 ！OK， 但係儲唔切氣。啊
！He had the side switch. Oh my god, that was the sickest reset I've ever seen.
咁啊，如果佢可能放波之後再 CA 咯，唔使佢唔需要即係 cancel， 因為個波都加好多嘅，零距離都加，零距離都加呢個，加6啦，你點距離都會加少，加6加7我冇記得。開 V 先。
And this is where the party starts for Laura. You know, when this character isn't featured, it definitely becomes a whole different beast.
咁啱得咁巧。係嘛 ？Laura 開咗電之後就開始喺度挖牆，溜冰啦喺度。What？ 哦，諗住埋去追殺追唔到，點算咧？哦，打個 TC 死咗，中段，搏落去，收頭拳啊！呢個收頭拳其實咧擋得冇事，呢個減6令到對面加唔遠。
If you're crouching because your hurt box expanded, you're gonna get hit. But if you're standing, it's gonna whip.
Yeah, so I mean, had that perfect spacing and willing to continue to crouch because we saw the low forward continue to come out. You can't afford to take that, and that's exactly what Davlo was expecting, hitting you with layer 1 Classico from the El Clasico player.
一開波就爆炸啦！哎呀，又移咗啊！又 jab 到個 hand， 又 jab 到2下拳聲，幾勁喎！
It's gonna be very interesting to see how Bells is still trying to traverse past the booms, right? Phase 1 of the Guile matchup.
Yeah, how do you navigate the sonic booms and then afterward as it's all the rest of the pieces?
對空啊，對唔到。
On the walk under on the cross up right there from Davlo loses the
對空
stream.
對到。
The anti-airs have been consistent so far.
咁啊，哇，不錯喎！見到佢前都喐就好似係，就直接掃落去。哇 ，perfect run， 加油！
He was actually mashing on forward as much as he could to get in. I can't even tell what exactly was on his mind at that point.
喂，直接打大套啊
I really like that decision from Davlo doing it early in the match because the resource differential isn't going to be that much, and now has such a life wave where Bells is the one who has to be on the offensive.
見到個電就嚟到，係後先。
Like mid-screen game. So excellently.
如果可以擋到，如果可以擋啊，我就唔會中啦。哇！你有冇咁好彩啊？喂 ，Laura 典型嘅 comeback 形態。哦，你唔起身，你仆街啦！你唔可以唔起身。係啊，X 波啊嘛。哦，一嘢波落去個鏡頭度，幾犀利。
That overhead, whether intentional or on accident.
I think that's 3 times.
Was that a sonic boom?
收頭拳啊，幫人收頭拳。
Because I mean, I think it would have beat the tackle anyways, but
一波就收頭㗎啦。
Perfect time and that is 3.
依唔到呢隻加油可以入到呢個香港級。
That
had to be a sonic boom.
Yeah.
Like the overhead from that far, it had to be a sonic.
It's like I'm nasty.
咁啊，巴利係唔知係咪想轉角
I didn't get my back input, but everything's working as intended.
That's it's big.
Miss a little bit.
I saw some sort of meme on Twitter where it's just like when the commentators think you're a genius for something you did on accident.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil it by the way.
搏落去啊！
Looking forward to that.
一件膊頭。
But no, I honestly think from that range.
你啲 guilty 人係咪見到膊頭咧打完之後 冇回報同埋俾人確反係咪？覺得隻 game 好唔合理。開頭應該打一大套啊嘛，邊有可能淨係點一下幫你收頭？又如果太多牛奶味。
EX move forward to try to get like the command grab pressure going. So didn't get to see that. The overhead did come through. 啲波頭，呢個德士係戇鳩大力嘅，戇鳩勁。 You know, maybe taking their time in characters like trying to figure this out because if you looked at the World Warrior results before,
你諗下，如果你德士冇得搏招，你出嚟做咩？
Getting
冇都要 RC 啦。
You still have more tournaments obviously to get points in the World Warrior series.
不過 Guilty 啲招基本上是但一招十角嘅，我覺得。
So you want to start off on the right foot here to leave the rest of the competition left behind.
好似冇乜點變喎，都係呢啲組合 ，V 組合又好，或者 Skill 組合都好。係啊，每次見到我都覺得咧超越咗我嘅諗法。依家最近啲 DNF 都係喎，又係超越咗我諗法喎，一拳死喎。唔係即係 Guilty 係打中之後一下死咯，但係 DNF 係擋咗一下死，擋係大鑊個中，我都唔係好明隻 game 玩點啊！我已經睇唔透有啲格 game 咪諗緊點啊！我呢個可以殺喎呢個，埋牆之時電再嘅 ，OK。爆！都係最近都係嗰啲街霸時好遊戲。
I was waiting for the IDOM, right? You do double elbow, then the fierce elbow. You get like.
好靚，有反應。
That was actually sick. That is one of the main ways to get past.
呢個重拳又係咧，如果你想還拖就會成個電飛文。
Maybe like EX sunset wheel, but no, that hasn't paid off at all actually. EX elbow is definitely the optimal thing.
Yeah, and now getting paid off in dividends. Not only is the EX elbow connecting, every single jump seems to be.
你舊世代 game 你唔可以擋多個星，係會俾人 trip 死啊！中咗個星，中咗個星反而又冇事，擋咗個星係最大。哦，兩下死 Q 咗。
2-2 on the board. Our first set is definitely delivering. You know, neck and neck here. We were talking about how
舊世代 game 係唔適合攞嚟，舊世代 game 係只可以留翻舊世代。依家啲 game，依家啲 game 係唔可以。依家啲 game 如果你，除非你係唔打錢啦。不過依家啲 game 就唔會唔打錢。JoJo 嗰啲咪即係 lap 講 ，Band lap 講嗰啲咪可以諗下咯。出隻火影啊，或者之前嘅一拳超人，或者改滅之刃咁樣咪嗰啲咪可以鳩嚟。但係你出，但係 DNF 會唔會係啲咁嘅 game 咧？我覺得佢又想打比賽喎，唔知比賽不嬲，比賽又有分嗰啲即係民間人睇定係官方人睇，係啊，好慘嘅。真係咁啊！哇！呢個學反啦，呢個死啦，呢個有機會死喎，呢個好大力喎，呢個。哇！仲要 reset。
Bell's now on set point afterwards. Davlo running out of steam. Bell's the young man is making this happen.
比賽唔可以咁，比賽係唔可以咁，比賽係唔可以唔可以唔用呢啲嘢。即係點啊？波年糕唔俾用，攞隻 crush 斬咩波年糕？都係嘅，又叫好似 Manny 咁樣咧，有啲 Infinity 踢或者有啲屈機踢 ban 咗先，同黃98咁樣。
Really trying to take his turn back with his V skill once. But that was just a raw dash.
哇！係咁撳個輕拳喺度試你，殺啦！
Final game, final round
都係。
for these two. Who's going to move on to winners finals? They go either way, but Bell's definitely
有世代喺街機玩，都做嗰啲 game 或者不鬥之拳。
Win this first interaction. If Bells can get in and lock down Davlo, oh, and the thunderclap might be the key to success. Yes. Oh, and the same side. One more touch will lead to a stunning direction.
Oh, we could have command.
喂，冇事，頂得住，之後咁都守得住 OK。哇，冇嘢啦，仲好大壓力。誒，理解得就靚噶啦，解得依家嘢係。
Build some space for himself. He doesn't have enough far to maybe live for one more miss.
你好，唉，點會對唔到啊？你去咗後，不過仲係好樂觀。有 V， 有氣，血量有優勢。
Yeah, nice and a check on the dash. Nice tech from the side of Bells.
其實我係佢擋咗幾下佢哋攻擊，跟住之後等 VT。哎呀，諗住過波嗰下咁啱 yes。好想開啊！好想開 VT 啊！而家唔開到啊，仲未開到啊！血量有血量優勢比血量劣勢，但係仲未開，攞開啦！哦，中招未得啊！識唔識？ 哇靚喎呢個哦，冇計啦，考步哥就有計，唔係巴里3比2晉級，不到不掂。
And just not able to escape the beast, the animal that is Bells.
I was panicking too, Davlo. I kid you not.
嗱，俾佢攞開，佢擋到個膊頭有嘢啦，你就擋唔到個膊頭。
I know exactly what's happening in his mind, but Bells as relentless as ever. That could have been either way. That could have been like a grab, could have been an overhead possibly, but him just going forward with that.
老人家反應慢
，probably the safest.
好似線下擋咗啦。
Bells again moving on into win.
不過好耐冇玩 DNF 咯，唉。
Big adaptation, right? He was down 2-1. At one point,
yeah,
to bring it all the way back.
And that was, you know, Davlo definitely showing why they are at this position. A member of a lasting and recognized member of this community for so many years. And you know, Bells did the first game, but then Davlo excellently and
最少人玩嘅新格 game
exactly how to deal with the guile. We started consistently seeing the EX elbows to go through. Yes, there was a few EX that. 開嗰個肉真係勁低。Once that started getting answering, the jump-ins came through, and everything started lighting up Bells. You know, we got the green light to apply our pressure. Was just overwhelming, and there was a couple lore rounds that happened.
又未去到唔想玩嘅，不過哦，你啲咁嘅人。
It was really unfortunate. He went for the jump back.
街6啊，有街6，主席用 at 你用碌，你又好啦，唔使諗角色，邊隻主角就邊隻啦，幾好。一定有隻道服，一定有道服嘅，街霸。我係冇角色啦，街6用咩我？全部一係春麗，而家全部都係，全部都係大隻到好似 Chris 咁大隻。
In terms of what we were looking forward to the other day, Brandon versus SKZ. SKZ is going to be running.
Brandon to SKZ.
I feel like, right, and he's going to be very confident at that because his run into top 16.
Seth 打碌係兩拳內分勝負嘅喎。 個升龍拳係唔可以亂，升龍拳一擋咗就再 Q 劍，或者嗰個 VT 2一擋咗都係再 Q 劍。不過 Seth 嗰個低空劍可以呃到升嘅，即係你升唔係因為肯定你升唔切。Issue 啊 ，SKC has a plan to go ham on me。覺得 SKC 諗晒方法去執我，試下你執唔執到。
So now the question is, what is Brandon going to do to kind of suppress that aggression?
我覺得碌係碌基本上就唔使對策嘅，基本上。睇下個下速腳 confirm 得唔得啫嘛？你收皮啦你。
Oh yeah, I feel like, but I think Luke will be doing a lot more damage before that even happens.
Yeah.
對拳我覺得有陣陰陽味喎，真係。陰陽係好嘔心嘅喎，街霸入邊。
But specifically, we're talking about.
我都唔明陰陽個設計係點嘅，你諗下邊有隻角色有升，有特進技，有 shooter， 跟住有指令頭可以搏招嘅指，可以一個搏招嘅指令頭，跟住就 dive kick， 跟住仲有一啲，跟住螳螂拳又用 lick 戇鳩，跟住百步穿楊又係另一款嘅戇鳩，都算正路㗎啦，百步穿楊。跟住個 super 就好少少，歐彩又戇鳩。你聽過4 film 歐彩未啊？4 film 歐彩黐孖筋。一個可以扣400幾嘅招式4 film 起到。
In the corner or even mid screen, because that has been the tale of the tape in all of our Seth matchups. How have you been able to escape? We've seen from the side of Mind RPG, sadly not able to make it, how we use the EX the EX dive.
Oh, now you want to say OD, don't you?
呢個對拳係我而家一度呢度打咧，我覺得呢條友係基本上碌係一隻偷雞前嘅角色。你贏到碌係因為你嘅前線俾對方截到，你截到碌嘅前線，但係你輸係因為呢個 呢個我都係覺得冇人接到嘅。你贏碌係因為你贏碌係咩贏 set 係因為你食埋個 VT 2佢都殺唔到對手。冇啊，呢度伏限㗎，大家都係度幾台用乜你咪用乜咯。
You see it. Brandon has been taking the back foot majority of the start of the round.
呢個大㗎呢個。
In both rounds, he's been walking backwards until he gets his opening, as he should.
咁啊，呢個血好問喎，你打唔到，你立回打唔到佢血啊！你個 VT 有 VT 2擲，你 VT 2擲到都冇用。好似冇打過機。
And the hot stuff is coming from Brandon. That is a Cardinals win. You played a low health, low stun character versus Luke.
Look
at yourself.
How many times have I heard that today? Luke wins. My God, that's a lot of damage. And you could see it, right? That's the biggest game plan is take that step back, force SKZ in that awkward position, and then if you get that knockdown, then apply pressure. Please, that's it's a very standard kind of strategy. But
just, you know, tight knit, very well delivered, the whole package.
即係我覺得佢用印度佬可能就係啲要打到啲咩印度佬嗰啲人，即係懷疑自己。好似上之前用 U 人打流星為止咁樣，但應該最後都係用翻碌。而家印度佬，你都碌真係唔渣。
Every single time, right? So active on defense.
好似打 set 好似打唔到嘅。
You see from the crouch medium punches, whether it's checking the movement by both medium kick, standing and crouching.
我啊間開。
calling it out against SKZ.
你揀要賭中，你揀要賭中呢個閘。仲要出到2次，你先有得贏。即係即使你開得好靚都好，開得好靚都好，都係有4分1機會打低佢。你立回打唔贏啊嘛。哇！如果贏埋呢一鋪，其實真係贏咗喎 ，Winner Final 個對手。應該可能冇 SKC 咁難頂，唔係靚得個試入。流星完啦，佢話專心街六。
And I like that. The answer key to the spin. Capcom gave it to me. My dad works at Capcom.
我以為呢個係精頭角色，咁
咪
死咗啦應該。喂 ，OK 出翻嚟，但係呢個，喂掂啊，殺啦，唔係唔殺啊？你唔殺，你唯一贏嘅機會都浪費嘅話就冇然後噶咯喎，死啦！呢個位 cheap 死啊叫，唔會有 V 反都仲夠，有錢啦，哦慳翻3格。咁啊死裏逃生啊！我諗 OK， 突然之間好有計。如果你係街佬，啱不過下中腳就可以咩 drive 唔知乜叉啊 ，drive rush 轉咗就衝埋去。我見係下中腳 cut 腳之後就 drive 嗰隻下中拳下重拳，跟住儲 level 2，跟住再升超大力。FADC 啊！唔死咗啦！啲 lock。
Dead? He doesn't have to. Oh, he doesn't need it.
Yeah, no.
哇，唔識搏。
Confirm right there at the end. Nice throw tech. Definitely.
OK， 開啦開 V 啊。開唔開？你啱啱唔開，哦死咗啦。OK 喎。係啱啱都照撳㗎啦，照開啊。Seth 竟然贏到碌。
We're starting to see SKZ again. We talked about cruise control. It didn't mean that he was necessarily like taking it lax. He was trying to play second.
Yep.
Clearly, he was trying to play second. All of the
其實街5 Seth 出翻嚟嘅做啲咩？即係街6冇 Seth 喎。佢馬出翻嚟話自己俾人格式化。咁應該要仲有啲嘢㗎係咪啊
？Absolutely love that adjustment too because everything came up Brandon in the first game and SKZ adapted.
哇！啲學反啊，大鑊嘅喂，個中拳咁乸遠都學反，即係基本上冇安全出。
And no fear active on the defense though.
收皮啦！
Right, and again, we're playing this pick.
我唔相信碌玩家度講嘢，等於話好鬼弱國咁樣。
Yeah, and again, confidence on defense is huge. You have to be able to continue.
一信用度碌玩家信用度僅次於呢個加喎。碌玩家信用度僅次於 Tokido。
Oh, are you dead?
死咗啦應該。
EX Sandblaster, barbaric barrage, as Saint Cole would say.
可唔可以唔用一格氣，唔使氣殺佢咧？幾有最盡，揸 first combo 咁樣。哦，一瞬間上飛啲嘢出嚟。
He'll give you a hug for it though.
True. Alright,
哦，運氣不錯。哦，上天也眷顧呢個桌球玩家。
That was a counter. SKZ pressed the button.
So this is so much damage still. Oh, we still got your
damage! 好打大力。
Get out of here!
This is safe. This is low.
That's criminal. You go to jail for that.
我唔想中咗，我唔小心，我唔想中咗佢，我唔想中咗一個 confirm 錯嘅招式又死 Q 咗啦。
I'm gonna try to justify it here, chat. I'm gonna try to justify it here.
Stop!
There was minimal scaling involved. He jabbed him into the stun. He jabbed him into the stun. It was a counter hit, tacked on a little bit extra damage. I am trying to justify it. That was one hit, okay?
Just because you can justify it doesn't mean it's okay.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was.
And right
I was
now,
trying to justify what the damage was. That's all.
Yeah, it's not about what was. It's about what is happening on the screen right now. One more touch. We'll go to stun. And I love that Brandon just walks back. SKZ is already at such a deficit. Not going to risk anything in the corner. You approach me.
我成日睇街錄嗰啲片咧，我覺得街錄啲傷害，即使你俾晒啲 level 1、level 2咧，FADC 我都覺得扣好少，即係可能俾2個 CA 可能投300度。level 1、level 2咁樣都投300，咁啊好少。係咪我錯覺
？Brandon has just been stopping SKZ, and I'm a big fan, man. I'm a big fan of SKZ as well, but right now he has to.
哇！我覺得準備 Brandon 準備慶祝勝利啊！佢邊度諗下邊度慶祝勝，慶祝攞 Capcom 級算。佢嘅對手 Oscar， 佢嘅最麻煩嘅對手 Oscar， 話已經贏夠啦，俾你贏下。咁啊，賢仔喺下邊游緊。哦，冇啦。咁我都唔知邊個可以阻止 Brandon， 邊個可以阻止 Brandon？ 橙又直接 DQ 自己唔打，橙話唔招打，成個勝，真係。Brandon Happy Day， 啲對手跌晒落去。咁啊，上去打巴黎，打 Laura 就 Laura 咧就即使你勁過佢都好咧，佢都可以靠嗰1、2波爆死你。又唔係打啲咩搶10、搶8、搶3啊，但係唔衝上去算啦。
Oh my God! Yeah. That's a pretty big deal, right? Over into loser side.
合中拳、下中拳，之後中反波拳。
I mean,
中反波拳。
I couldn't say any better than this, right? It was
啲人下中下重，下中下重易搏啲。下中立重，跟住中鏟唔知啊，打得下叻窒機唔打佢是否？
SIN's own Brandon, now the CEO.
可能覺得嗰個雖然都太窒，唔想打。跟住之後就，因為以前嗰個立中嘅 VT 就戇鳩啦，立中嘅 VT 跟住之後重拳彈牆，跟住就抌上天。聽下鏟。
Is now available for download in China with a global version coming real soon. Fight alongside
可能變咗做呢個
Ken against the Suzaku Cast.
可能變咗做呢個 QF 玩家，費事打呢個街霸。
The classic stories with all of your fighters. Recall your memories of the original Street Fighter. Again, your street legend is now back.
下中立重。
Various fighting styles like counter, stun,
冇得求其實有時覺得咧你唔使立重，而且好難忍得住。
Challenging your combat skill. The epic legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now.
即使你用輕反波拳咧，做得一步 同中反波拳 level 2嘅，個傷害差唔多嘅，亦都係益時反波拳之後再升，即係你向前彈同向上彈，傷害差唔多啦。其實你即係即使你唔用重咧，我覺得都係好大力，即係佢個 level 冇乜意思。哇！依扎 Warrior 澳洲仔有冇份打？澳洲仔可唔可以打？澳洲仔有冇得打呢個 Warrior？ 不過就出一個 quota， 你要懟冧啊！你要懟冧奧斯奧城5次都幾大喎！你打贏佢5次啦。奧斯奧拳，因為佢好似 lead 嚟啊嘛，你打5次啊。
Very much looking forward to it, right? After that recap that we had from the pre-show, I've been waiting to check out all the VODs. They spoiled it for me just a little bit.
跟住你仲要嗰啲咁嘅第一嗰啲人，仲要打一個唔知咩血嘅咩循環賽，跟住先至可以打個循環賽，跟住先至可以有一個 spot 去俾你打呢個 K1 級，即係講緊係啱啱10幾個組織搞嘅比賽喎。香港唔係啊，香港係東亞。哦，又係睇 Twitter 嘅時間啊！我哋好中意睇 Twitter，因為幾日咧北九州有個咩街六嗰個唔知咩成日有呢個廣告嘅，我想問好耐。北九州呢個咩街霸嗰個有街霸嗰個街六嗰個 demo 都幾多嘢睇，但係成個畫面都係 Smash 咯。Smash 嗰個官方好勁嘅，佢而家每一場咧都要 clip 一樣嘢。Capcom Fighter 真係扭技，即係佢淨係贏嗰個先贏最後1秒先至咯。呢個係差唔多每一燈都會每一燈都 cap 一次，即係好密嘅，其實即係點啊？街霸真係不斷，啊成個都係 Smash， 啲10幾20個黐埋緊。睇下先，你唔打 SF6 咧？你唔打 SF6 咧係揾唔到嘅。今次佢話呢個幾過癮啊！呢個佢話呢個咧變咗拳皇式喎，打唔到背喎呢個，即係呢個喺板邊度跳打，板邊打 cross up， 板邊冇 cross up 打，我都唔知係咪真。咁其實都有個好處嘅，因為咧平時呢啲位咧。即係呢個喺前跳打咧，好難升啊嘛！你見啲人咧唔知點解打下會自己跳入去咧。咁依家咪好似 rush 咁樣咯，係咁3個跳喺度彈下咧，你又對唔到空嗰啲位。咁你咪可以係咁 loop 都幾勁，其實都幾有好有唔好啦。打唔到背，始終你唔使，即係你唔好似街4咁樣咧，重拳打前，跟住中腳打背嗰啲。不過如果你係咁喺度前跳打背，我覺得幾戇鳩。我哋搭重嘅 CC 旋風腿扭咗少少啊！衣服嘅話有 big news 啊！呢個好似有啲似，呢個有啲似街，即係街5阿龍咧升 trade 跟住之後可以播真空波動。我覺得又未去到話，即係未到好勁啫。你出呢個情況都幾難喎，當咗我升會死㗎大佬。但係今集好似冇咗嗰個輕中重嗰個 priority 咯，即係輕重攻擊攞嚟輕攻擊 trade， 都係幾容易出現呢啲咁嘅情況。如果你嗰個攻擊係特殊招咁樣就 trade 咗落去，哇！好幾遠喎，喂，好遠喎，係咪遠咗少少啊？呢個好勁喎，龍好似有計。呢個 Kiko 騎係咪？呢個 Kiko 騎，其實我覺得 Kiko 騎街5個勁啲，都係越慢越勁嘅，我覺得。呢個幾慢幾勁，慢你可以衝佢跟住個波鞋啊嘛。呢個有最渣，跟住街6嗰個勁。不過依家呢隻 game 咧可以 EX 個博 CA 咯，所以其實又係另一樣嘢。因為 EX 同埋 C 係兩條戲嚟噶嘛，即係唔係呢隻 game 一條戲。我想用禮火，我想用呢隻，又唔俾我用。見到依家冇 priority， 乜招都可以 trade。不過佢 trade 唔知點解， 好似即係好似 GT Gear 咁樣咧，會即係佢會停一停咁樣，咁你可以睇清楚我哋博招。咩啊？膊頭 counter hit， 佢嗰個膊頭 counter hit 可以搏中攻擊嘅話，咁咪輕，咁佢唔 counter 咪可以搏輕攻擊。係咪又係嗰啲 counter？ 以前 counter hit 係最多加2邊嘅，加4加5都係。加6 counter hit 係咪加多啲嘅？都有機會，有啲嘢 guilty 好似 GBBS 咁樣 counter hit 咧，可以加10幾邊嘅可以。你睇嘅 EX 多 kick， 跟住之後 level 3 super。都幾即係 EX 搏超必我好新咯，我覺得仲係 cancel 咯，見到係即係你街4歐即係 EX 之後唔可以 cancel 歐查啊嘛，係街6就係咁可以得嘅。咩話？龍個 Tatsumaki 而家可以打踎低啦，而家。
With resounding Luke play opening，
但係第一 hit 可以打踎低咯。而家變咗，依家 Tatsumaki 打踎低係基本係咪？跟住睇。
Reflect on their actions in the future World Warrior Series. But if you're just joining us now, I'm Jake Ryan, joined by the beautiful, vicious.
That's quite the adjective to explain.
Oh yes.
Explain.
I
can't even speak English. I feel like you were about to like.
唔係，不過佢
都唔
應該唔會再食整多幾次咪唔食咯。Punish counter 咁大鑊，有分 counter punish counter。Punish counter 係 whip punish 喎 ，counter 係打你個攻擊。咁煩，因為有兩個 counter 唔識跟。
We have so many matches to play. Once again, the format for this bracket, every single match.
Punish counter 即係擋完個星之後嗰啲嘢。
Adapt and adjust their gameplay. And the first game that we're actually going to be seeing is RSC Lacuna C.
我都唔知，如果 whip punish 可以 counter， 有 punish counter 嘅話咧，加多啲，咁出嚟咪好勁咯。重拳，不過立重拳黐孖筋啫喎，即係街5自己俾撲到傻仔咁。
Losing to Captain Y in their most recent set for the World Warrior Series because yesterday we were talking about how
仲要搏完之後仲要再搏招。
The Akira matchup, especially with how much Akira needs to get in and Falk's gameplay is the antithesis.
好似 GT Gear 咁樣咯 ，trade 嗰下咧就會到咗3-2-1，跟住之後戇鳩冇。係咁啦
，reset。
佢慣咗㗎啦，打咁多年。
Expectations because these players have something to say about this set right now.
Yeah, starting things off with Lacuna C and his player quote.
多謝俾人咁 whip punish 俾人打嗰啲叫咩 ？Shout out to my FGC home that I trust talk to almost every day. Four of which are here in the top, including Brandon, SK and.
Man, that is quite the statement to say, and I think.
我希望有條我哋是但一條友可以，即係新加坡人可以去傾講級，就係咁。好中意。
Who is actually the better player with that trash talk? So Lacuna C doing it right.
我覺得 punish counter 太勁，唔係因為 whip punish 太勁，咁 whip punish 嗰個。
But one thing to really note here is that
咁嗰個 counter 咁勁嘅話，咪變咗做鬥後手咯，大家一齊你眼望眼。不過其實即係可以 cancel 嘅招你。 Punish counter 多咯，冇乜意思嘅。即係你 cut 腳，你唔通唔 cancel 天湖咩？除非你開 cancel 一個好撚勁嘅天湖，咁啊爭好遠。
When you see all the FGC homies in there, and it's like, oh, when I
可以 cancel， 好似
kind of good because okay, cool.
因為變咗就可以 cancel 一個即係 counter 先接駁到嘅特殊技，但係有勁大力嘅，冇第一件事。唔會啩咁樣咪真係鬥唔喐嘅啫喎，搞唔掂。 福有嚟嗰啲，阿 Kira 都係啲
exactly。
阿 Kira 除咗叫 Daigo 個波之外，都係扭嘅。
Yeah, that means you're doing it right. That means you have the right training regimen with your partners because you know training together. That's what the community is all about. The community is showing up big here, but Lacuna C and Captain Y, one of them is going to be moving on in a big way, and the other will have to go back.
波唔可以 FADC 嘅話，又冇用街4嗰度嘅機。街4最勁就係波去 FADC， 戇鳩。
Already off to a great
同埋
start.
呢個 Perry 嗰個波個回波係點
Keeping that mid-range game, you can see where Captain Y has to throw out some of these roundhouse normals against the Kunasi's crouching medium punch or even the
Daigo!
shot. Here comes Daigo.
哦 Daigo 俾人
That was
冇用啊 Daigo
insane! Right before the active frame of the first Daigo hit, the uppercut came out.
呢個不嬲得㗎啦，街唔到得。不過要
Oh, and this is where the Kunasi
不過你 confirm 到 Hang 吞喺搏到重拳你都幾勁。
That was the move that pretty much signed the death note for Captain Y.
冇事嘅。
Captain Y is no longer
啲老屎忽點會睇街舞比賽啊
is the captain now, and every single check, it's like Captain Y, you know, now moved back to the corner, but 35
哦
seconds
確反
left, and
你
you've got
見到咧啲拳腳都掂唔到嘅
you can make
基本上你
absolutely
每次諗住試下摸佢咧，就會被覆一個搭合嗰種拳啊，或者開槍打中。
Y betting it all, Lacuna C. Definitely saw that a mile away, getting the anti-air program.
我撳實個拳掣啊嘛，撳個拳掣撳1秒到放手就得㗎啦，撳到個着燈咯，撳到個着燈放手就得。
lights out because Captain Y was at such a deficit. You know, I'll take anything on the side of Lacuna C, but now
點解
Captain
唔
Y
一有個好處就係咧，你唔使 on hit 都可以出咯。二你要 on hit 咧就好，即係你對面真係死擋爛擋，你真係成世都開唔到。
And he's not the one initiating the normals.
Yeah.
Right?
呢個係一個反嚟嘅，即係唔夠嗰陣時撳埋。
Up until this point,
因為依家咯，即係是但點一下 ，whiff 咗之後點一下之後開兩槍，都百幾嘅都大力嘅。哎呀，幾大力啊！你點多幾下就死㗎啦。阿 Kira 就係摸到成場，摸到夠鐘都未摸完，超辛苦，好難打嘅對面佢。
And again, that is the entire game plan right there from Lacuna. Captain Y is in this point where you have to either try to close out that range by walking and blocking, or go for the sand roundhouse. And Lacuna is just ready to eat. Just ready to say thank you. Nice platter. Full stuff for me.
And it all started off from that first game.
Exactly.
Right? It was just a walk back, crouching medium punch. He's like, hey, by the way, I'm going to be setting the tone right now, just like this. And gets to do it again. That forward punch, forward heavy punch.
又中，呢個最正就係咧，中隻波一定出㗎啦。 跟住之後，如果夠近咧，就可以輕佢識。不過攞到百幾嘅都幾勁。
Not only does it give you like screen position, it pushes. It gives you a little bit of gray health, but Lacuna does not care.
That medium kick is just so good. It's so active, and it reaches so far away. Being cancelable as well. It's
每一次重腳重拳咧，都係希望打一個 quick turn， 但係佢撳咗成第3彎啦，咁彎都係撳唔到一個 quick turn，都幾慘。
Yeah, I think it's like a slow walk and block kind of game because once you get in the corner, you know, taking this damage is fine because if you get Daigo activated, then it becomes a two-touch situation, and this is where Akira gets to play. And this is where Lacuna more than they can chew because the next sequence, Willie the stun, the drop with Daigo. What is the mix-up here? Oh my goodness!
Nice and easy.
Well,
the stun.
A decent
amount of scaling, I feel like.
Has the critical art though in just a moment.
咁實嘅嘢唔可以就咁撳。
Do you spend it to kill? Yes.
友情。
So we talked about the main strategy, right? As this critical art is going, Captain Y opted to walk and block.
Yep.
都得。你對面真係俾你踢到嚟啦。
Committed to the uppercut, ate a ton of damage in that sequence.
即係打到咁上下就好小心嘅，因為手段都係嗰幾下。你佢係咁放啲槍都知道，如果一個鐘腳唔中。 仲係意外風涼，唔仲係應該。佢都唔預喎，中就會中。
Yeah, but then again, not following up the V skill 2 this time, laying it out and then backing up, forcing Captain Y to just back up and get that screen position where you're not at that danger zone of dealing with the normals, but
基本上成場都係偷雞，俾多啲氣啦，唔俾多啲氣。你都唔知之後攞上去。哇，大力啊呢個！
Yeah,
OK.
That was ultra meaty.
啊，等陣先。呢個基本上呢個 CPT 其實咧你。
Yeah, guess for game. Daigo's available too. What side? Oh wow!
OK， 幾屈機喎呢個。頭咧再做 Daigo， 但係如果對面解頭其實變咗個 Daigo 咯。但係你敢唔敢解頭？一解頭就會俾 Daigo 跳落嚟踩中。
Really impressive because not only the first time did Daigo hit the same side, afterwards had another setup already prepared. That was just layers on layers, and it's like, what other layers does Captain Y have prepared?
I know exactly what he's going to do next.
Oh, you
Jake
do?
Ryan, I'm going to call it right now.
Okay.
The next time he gets a block, like anytime he gets Lacuna C in a block
Oh,
and activates Daigo, He's gonna do the jump early fireball.
You think
so? Jump delayed fireball to make it think it's gonna cross over. It's gonna be like right above her body.
Like that perfect timing.
If Lacuna C calls it out in uppercuts,
yeah, 100%.
We'll see how it plays out. Yeah. Either way, Captain Y slowly starting to figure out pieces of the previous game. Active big hit confirm off of the medium kick and the follow up after.
Yeah, the puzzle. It's all sky still. You got to figure out where the rest of the clouds go. But Captain Y head not in the clouds, trying to figure out how to walk and block through this. Has Daigo available, and we're going to see exactly what the mix-up is going to be. See what comes out. Oh no!
擋到個 Daigo。OK。哎呀！
You got hit by that?
Just neutral jump.
係啊，戇鳩㗎，所以腳法版卡鏈我都覺得係先難，好多唔會用。有卡鏈嘅抵用。
Not opting for the DP this time, but the reversal getting answered excellently. And you know, Lacuna's still feeling comfortable in this corner position.
OK.
Big confirm.
冇，如果冇 Daigo 咧，真係我唔知點追佢。
Will do it. Nice again.
有 V 反都減冇嘢。
Oh yeah.
冇 V 反翻嚟，大鑊啦。
你
擋到有 V 反咯。點打？
Being able to dictate the pace so well, especially with that life lead, it's such a tough hill to come back from.
Yeah, and Captain Y already in this position where you have to walk and block, and you cannot do it 100% of the time. Like
呢招勁咯，呢招 Urian 撞都勁，即係勁過，一定勁過，即係練過13球，但係淨係得 Urian 撞係唔夠嘅。V 反啊！冇 Daigo 好難搞喎。不過大家要清楚，卡鏈係冇 V 系統，所以阿 Kira 有 V 系統，呢方面 comeback 方面勁，一定勁過卡鏈。未 stun。OK， 死咗啦。哆啦 A 夢。
Who's going to take and establish the lead in this set? Because I feel like that is huge for momentum and Captain Y.
用氣都冇乜所謂嘅。
So much momentum here, especially.
拳腳太跛就真係都致命。
I'm looking for a whiff punish from Captain Y against stand medium kick.
Yeah, definitely haven't seen any of.
同埋個重腳重拳減6咯，
just such a strong
減6好大鑊嘅，好多位都破板到，好多人都破板到。
Key to get an edge in this match right now. Oh, nice! Not able to check the dash this time, and again in the corner. It feels like Lacuna has just fallen apart. Able to escape this time.
你唔係新或者前重拳 CC 都出唔到 V skill
2。Does catch the movement against Captain Y and a full extension at that. The amount of damage the meter spent.
或者 Daigo 咯叫。而家 VT 2可以 cancel V skill 2咁都有啲用。都係你 combo 入邊先入到又。
all that screen space, just feeling comfortable, knows that the lead is established. What a good walk forward medium kick. Captain Y got caught slipping again.
有個 V skill 2爆炸，前仲係加。
Walking back, letting Akira make the move. But again, V trigger is available both sides.
得唔得？好似
slow down all Daigo connects. Yup, huge damage in.
嚟啦！哇，有得 combo。
I think a single confirm can go into critical art. I don't know. I mean, it was a light confirm off of this. Not gonna.
如果阿 Kira 出到 CA 或者我覺得似攤out晒嘅，但係福已經全力防守。
You know, any incorrect read and only 9 seconds left on the clock. Lacuna just has to go for one block swing and run away.
8秒我拉住擋掣算啦。
You have to make no risk, and that is so huge because Captain Y had no time.
8秒咧就擋掣咁樣，你答我都係答兩下，一定唔可以8秒之內解決到啊
！You have to walk forward, checkmate.
We gotta rewind back to that moment. As immediately after Lacuna C got punished for that air fireball.
Yeah.
Right. Captain Y had the right.
不過如果啱啱個 V 燒打中，我覺得。
Got the crumple state.
我覺得
followed through with the V skill too.
Yeah, and the combo drop was just so tragic there too because that health might have been the difference.
100% would have been the difference. I think it would have got him into the position where whether or not he initiated critical art, he would have had corner positioning, all the advantage in the world, life,
後得又爆炸，一開波冇一半血。阿 Kira 係攞血嗰個啊！如果唔係，如果唔係真係被福慢慢磨死。即係夾硬衝埋去攞血嗰啲，一開波冇一半血都幾大喎。唉，Daigo 幫拖 ，Daigo 都搞你唔掂，佢仲要一下喎。
It has such a horizontal range too.
呢個位仲可以重拳波咁樣咧，慢慢喺度即係磨下佢，但係總會有一日會俾佢推翻出去，翻出去就再挑劍。
Oh, nice whip punish.
你玩 P punish 就你玩 P punish 其實你唔需要阿 Kira，好多角色可以更加適合。乜阿 Kira？ 好似阿 Kira 好耐冇見過，玩咗一陣就冇玩啦。佢揾到真愛，揾到隻 S 角，夜晚我 K1 級，夜晚我 K1 鋪 2啊。
And I love this. Just yeah. What are you gonna do? Walk forward.
佢原地跳，復原地跳可以。哎呀，唔知去咗邊。死咗啦。
Yeah, that was rough.
I will say, in that specific scenario, it's kind of tough to get that consistently. That
S 角就是我的愛。
It's possible though.
雖然佢10幾年前咁打街4個先做都係用 Cody， 不過都係玩咗一陣冇玩。呢個你Tokido每次 patch 完之後都話有真愛㗎啦。同 Daigo 話佢嘅真愛係龍一樣。
Yeah, and I feel like that's the first time we were able to stuff the medium kick. So Captain Y figuring it out, finding the cadence of that button, and that's probably another key to the puzzle.
To be fair, I think he might have tried to.
跳完未？我見到阿 Kira 由最左追到最右，最右追翻去最左，最左追翻去最右咁樣。即係 Fog 係真係由左走到後邊就去左。哇，走得咗 ，Daigo 都唔見埋 ，Daigo 都救你唔到。攞到少少血都好，好過冇。呢個星有啲頭水，有啲心水啊，超 delay， 個星已經夠慢㗎啦，仲要夠 delay 升，成秒先升，你可唔可以成秒都唔撳掣？喂呀 ，fan 底，大力㗎呢個。死啦！無啦啦飛咗，冇啦，佢放棄治療。你以為我係啱啱隻軍佬啊？當唔到個波頭。哇！3-1。輕鬆晉級。之後應該就試 N 㗎咯。唯一一個大家比較中段其實都係其實都係等下即係等 Daigo 嚟嘅時候先至用，咁冇少出。因為 Daigo 佢成堆火咧，可以遮住你嗰個動作。你睇即係如果對手睇唔到你仲吹緊種。
I believe Captain Y did get the first position. If I am misspeaking, then I completely apologize. I have to rewatch the show, but I do believe Captain Y got the win.
Hey man, I'll believe it. It's pretty late out here, but again, you talked about that rematch between the two right now. Lacuna C having all the right answers in terms of like the initial phases of gameplay. You talk about what Captain Y wanted to do, and man, that was such a significant drop. By the way, I had to really pause my train of thought seeing that again. But yeah, for the most part, I think Lacuna C played it extremely well. He set the pace immediately out the gate with that crouching medium punch. He wanted to make sure that he let Captain Y know the match. He's like, I'm going to play a little lame. I'm going to play down back the game and move towards the edge of the screen a little bit to kind of make you a little antsy.
Yeah, and it's showing that comfortability in the corner.
最後啦
，CN
打啦 Bear Pawn， 大哥，即係成隻角色淨係得嗰下勁係唔夠勁。
The losers bracket going to be having to fight SKZ for the future. SKZ。
有啲人我見即係打到勁嗰啲人咧係叫 Daigo 出嚟之後咧，跟住跳上去，跟住空中定個空中波或者空中中拳，一跳就會食個空中中拳，跟住之後就俾 Daigo 抌上天。咁啊，不過都有句，即使中咗 Daigo 你都贏對手，因為淨得 Daigo 可以攞到傷害。
This is the spicy one in the loser side. Shen versus Bear Pop. Bear Pop making the losers run of their lifetime, and then Shen on the other side, like you said.
咁啊，打最強角色啦。31歲打22歲。
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he lost to Captain Y prior to the top 16, but has made his way through up until this point, right? Bear Pop, on the other hand, he actually lost round 1. He lost round 1 of his run into the CPT. And had to go through every single name on the list.
大哥有都唔係好㗎，唔要大哥要 VT2都有啲用嘅，VT2都幾勁嘅其實。你摸一下跟住之後，摸一下之後可以 cancel。 可以 cancel 抌 V skill 2喎，都幾犀利。你出到 V skill 2就有傷害㗎啦。不過你嘅立回摸到佢先啦。Not quite sure who raises CN even if I am just going to play like 邊兩個CN？ 邊兩個 CN 啊？扭技，聽個名都知扭啦。
He's got the blazer on. He's just like, I am ready. This is an executive's job to do. I'm the mayor of which city?
邊個 CN？ 我唔識喎。
Hardest streets in the world, and I'm the street.
輕鬆秒殺啊！準備。
All right, you're a Nova. Who are you? You're not me.
You used to play ninja characters, now you play
印度呢個印尼嚟㗎，印度有街霸嘅，印度有 CPT 嘅咩
？He just gave him the Who do you think you are? I am.
印尼嚟嘅，印度應該冇得打。印度有冇上網成問題？有冇網絡嘅印度
？Gets to take that title here in this match. I love that kind of energy from Bearpop. Like maybe a little bit of sarcasm. If he's genuine, then wow, man, you are the Chad.
I would love to see.
The disrespect is real.
Yeah, the disrespect is indeed real.
邊兩個CN？但係CN嗰個即係嗰個 Twitter 冇 show 出嚟。因為CN 認真到廢話都唔講，直接懟冧佢。咁呢個對決基本上又啱啱碌打 set 一樣，即係兩拳 set 得兩個 set 到可以捱兩拳嘅。呢個 bear pot 咧，原本佢話佢 main character 係 real 嘅，跟住之後成場跟住之後打 top 16開始見到打到 top 8都係用 Toadie。
Somersault kick right there. It is so difficult.
Where have I seen that normal media?
啲人好似20零歲20頭已經攞 Evo Champ，
Why does it look so familiar?
即係天才少年。
Maybe a little bit of inspiration on the screen.
好犀3字頭，仲係一個冠軍都未拎過。
Inspired to continue this pressure, Bearpop.
Just look how much estate he gets off of those throws. Right, Bearpop already bringing Sim to the corner. Look at the
亂撳掣。哦，死咗啦！邊兩個 CN 我真係想知。係啊，我 feel 到 CN。哦，你咁樣做？呢個呢個 level 1 combo 喺邊度？咁又唔係好勁。啊，冇啦，2分1機會。冇啦。我俾佢開到個 VT2就冇啦。VT2咧可以好穩陣咁攞1半血，但係首先你要用，但係你首先你要用立回方法打到佢1半先。驚其實街霸嚟講驚唔係驚同定位同 set 差唔多啦，又唔係好即係唔係好勁，但係哇好窒啊！我幾多個窒啊！即係又唔可以話好勁，又唔可以話好渣。嗰啲好勁嘅嘢咯，但係成隻角又唔係好勁。哎呦，第一拳打中就好啦，唔夠遠。又嚟多次，升唔升？疏咗嘅，唔打暈你啊！咁啊一個頭 reset 死咗啦應該。哦唔得啦，哇射埋個都死唔去我覺得。咁啊擺個波喺門口算。都唔係嘅 ，Sako 我見 Sako 有時都會玩下 game， 即係都有研究過，比賽都會用過1-2次啦。不過 Sako 又係每一次比賽都用唔同角色嘅，所以你永遠都唔係好知佢用咩角。
I still had more gas in the tank. I guess you'll die.
I had like one more mix left.
Like, come on, man. You did. I had 4 more moves. It's like when you see the concede immediately on the online game. It's like, I played my first card, bro. Come on, man. Why'd you stop?
哇！想撥殺，撥唔到。啱啱嗰個位中拳坑頭教唔掂。Sako 二 Bookie， 唉 ，Sako 2 Bookie 嘅證明咗街射你戇鳩嘅，撳嗰堆嘢之後再掟標又係唔 pro 咁樣打西，即係成隻 game 咪就係攞個手攞個咁嘅，即係轉攞個搭，跟住之後再等個飛鏢打個 set pick， 跟住之後再打個再撳幾下之後再箍頸，之後再嚟一個再掟標。有 Sako 專用嗰個又唔係叫 set pick 嗰個係咪 combo 叫 unblock？ 你有少體感咯要，所以搞到即係你唔好穩定咁出到，即係你要行唔知幾多 film， 你行到1 film 都已經唔係咁多，咁難估嘅咩？呢招唔係前就係後㗎啦，咁難估。
can save.
Dude, that was amazing. Shen caught reaching 1, 2, 3 whip throws, and then the ankles.
咁啊，視野力爭上游，游緊上去。呢個 bingo 咧有啲渣喎，正常咧即係好似卡奇有龍爪腳啊，又或者其他啲招式咁樣咧，輯完嗰邊啲招式之後，可以多數都係加3至加4喎，又打到你。但係變咗而家變咗加，即係高 bingo 好似加2。加唔好啊！我都係覺得，咁都覺得佢係 YouTuber， 佢唔係一個精湛嘅，佢唔係一個精湛，佢唔係一個比賽選手。佢想攞 noise 多過贏，所以就玩卡嘅。
Like, wow,
how did you do that? That's like to get that sponsorship. It's a
must be an employee.
It's a Razor's Edge. Yeah, that's right. That's right. He probably is.
識啦，應該要好深刻。我錯了咁樣心諗。
I hate that I had to laugh at the accountant position. I'm like, I know that pain. I know that pain, Jake Ryan.
I mean, he's crunching the damage numbers right now. He may have low health, but he is.
He's about to audit the mayor of Metro City.
Yeah, hey, right. What is your return on investment for that suit? Because you've got a better job. We are doing a great job in neutral with the anti-airs bear pop. All right, you weren't put in the freezer. You were.
哇！呢個確反啊，不過個 level bingo 出 level 做得唔夠長。
While you were in prison, yet you were escaping every single night. Is that true?
Man, did you pay for those government subsidized chains?
抽到獎成功。
Oh man, and the bird is the word right now.
咁啊，攞 bingo 啱埋佢，啱啊電腦。咁啊用咗唔夠，咁啊推埋出嚟，呢個就係2扎啦。而家暫時，哎呀個刮腳好似早過個波打中，佢遲過個波打中，搞到搏唔到招，搏唔緊要啊，啲太多血啦。雖然 Cody 可以一下打死佢。呢個如果你用重拳就會食啱個攤底，可能用立拳對空啊。
You know, it might be time
to
fizzle out. Not enough steam, even though you could rest for a day. There's not enough rest in the world to help you fight this mystery fighter in the form of Shin.
We'll see how it plays out, right?
Yeah.
Has all the bar in the world at the moment. It does have the corner positioning. It's looking very clean. We'll see Bear Pop is not.
哇！佢俾個普通嘅轉腳轉死咗，好打翻嚟先。啱啱上開 V 啊，前衝腳嚟。
Not gonna be in time. Sen is gonna have all the momentum again to take the pace.
不過 set 嗰個下重腳啊，或者即係嗰個轉咧都可以，或者8力拳都可以抗衡到你好耐。你買都再講。好咁啊，今日我知道試一試。
Easy and consistent, you know, knew exactly what the win condition
was. 有好多招都唔記得咗啦，長手
was not only running out of time, but was running out of V-trigger and not running out of hope. Shen moving on to the bracket.
呢隻角色嚟㗎嘛，以前嗰啲太勁啦啩。
He is the TO for the Community World Warrior Series, so he's got to go against.
佢有晒呢招真係屈機。
Like if Davlo is the most seasoned and Shen is the most recognized, that is a match that's a heartbreaker. That's a heartbreaking match for me.
呢個 CF 4大武器，4大戇鳩招，戇鳩。嗰個插入弱智喎，插中又可以搏招，跟住又勁快，跟住好多位可以俾佢用嗰度。跟住個跳打背又超勁。
That's a pretty good one. I love that.
I love these ones.
To go back to it, yeah, I think Sen, although he might have that kind of experience,
增加知名度，
I think
成功。
he spent a lot more quality time with some of the newer generation, right? He's been taking a lot of his time to.
係咪又 break 啊？依家你 break 又講聲啦喎，唔係好想睇到你講廢話。因為有時咧佢3波先 break 一次，有時2波先 break 一次，我都唔係好明佢 break 嗰個準則係點。
Like what aspect of the game he's a part of.
Yeah, and I think that's really important too as you develop yourself, not only as a player, but in the community, because elevating yourself not only in game but outside of the game and giving back.
各個唔同啦，音可以早啲出嘅，但係但係 set 嗰個好似硬啲，你聽我刷頭頂都好似加硬嘅，音我刷頭頂係假。
And it's nice to be like, hey, this is where I've had my pitfalls. This is where this is how I learn to get to this effective point as a champion. So I want my region to be
我下邊其實嗰集我都覺得係 Brandon 係咪即係 Grand Final 都係 Brandon 打事嘅。
Without a doubt. And again,
巴黎始終佢嘅 Lola 唔係 idol， 唔係 idol 嘅 Lola 基本上都可以冇事。因為隻角色真係你靠指令頭去賭啊，真係你賭得幾多次啊？如果巴黎贏咗 Brandon 都應該爆炸。
Yeah, and I'm loving these
都幾期待呢個畫面。
Because you know, we've talked about what we have expected from the bracket so far, and you know, expectations have been shattered, and we are going to be shattering expectations with the mobile game genre soon because SF Duel, Street Fighter Duel, is available now in the China region. So a global version is coming soon. You need to make sure to get on that as soon as you possibly can because the Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is an epic legend reborn on mobile. You can download Street Fighter Duel now if you are in China. And again, I'm Vicious and I are huge mobile game
We're a pair of nerds, that's for sure. I love playing mobile games on my spare time. If it's a Street Fighter game, best believe I'm going to be a part of it.
Exactly. We're definitely pre-gaming with our mobile games, and we can't wait to pre-game with Street Fighter Duel as well. So make sure you join the journey with millions of players with the best fighter.
And speaking of pre-gaming, right, we're getting ourselves ready for the next Capcom Pro Tour event with the current registration for Central America East. Actually, the registration should be closing pretty soon. It's going to be streamed towards the end of the month. As you can see the dates right there. Registration closing on the 5th. The stream's going to be happening on July 30th as well. If you are part of that, make sure to sign up, capcom.us/CAE for more details as to what region's coming up next. Well, I'll take a look at the next slide, right? Capcom Pro Tour is exactly where you need to go, but we're going to be taking a little bit of a break in August with the big one, one of the biggest ones, Evolution.
呢個係咪好 Perry 嘅？
Evo Championship Series is just
會唔 cancel 咁
嘅
樣
registration period
即係下中拳之後，當下中拳之後 pair
ready for the Australian CPT for the UNGA Down Under.
Yeah, the UNGA Down Under is definitely in our future, and I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top for the definitive final season of Street Fighter V at EVO to be the last EVO champ.
I cannot wait to see the results on that.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see the results for the rest of this top 8. But you're going to have to wait as well because we're going to need to re-up on our Red Bull, and we're going to need to re-up on our expectations for the rest of this top 8 because you're not going to want to miss these next matches. It's only going to get harder from here as we get to that top 4 and as we get to these final sets. So
覺得呢啲人呢個人就片啫，其他人佢啲片仲要係 capture card cap 出嚟，唔係手機影，唔係手機影喎，咁啲邊度攞翻嚟？我呢個 RBG 重拳，啲嘢就落單。冇乜特別喎，呢個司令係咪？呢個春嚟啊，咁都好似拍緊古裝片咁嘅。佢哋兩個咁友好嘅咩？呢個角色？呢啲冇嘢睇咯。有時覺得呢個位咧，佢射晒啲氣出嚟，咁俾人捽咗一下，佢咪暈咗咯。會唔會？咦？哦，即係飲酒係好似 roll 咗個，好似 roll 咗個 UC2咁樣，飲完就即刻着，同埋冇顏值嘅，冇乜機。細撈。個人嚟嘅咩呢個？ 應該撳嗰個咩 Japan Expo， 我諗會多啲嘢睇。你見咧搏咁多嘢咧，條血包好似唔係好扣咁樣。佢俾咗6格氣啊，大佬你見到6格氣加埋個 super 咧，都扣唔到300，都扣唔到200，250啦我諗呢就。搞到我一隻 game 呢個扣嘅，即係唔係好大力。呢度幾多你話？6格氣用咗，所以我自己覺得隻 game 嚟都好多血。冇咩好睇嘅。哇！你嗰次睇清嗰個呼吸 attack 都係覺得係鳩嚟。有咩情況下會用咧？最大中嘅情況就係當對方用嘅時候，你跟住用。幾時會用咧？呼吸 attack 講嘢。抽獎權，仲要玩 cancel 嘅抽獎權。哇！好多 cosplay 啊！哇！大佬你手震就唔好拍啦，係鬼！咁你好似碌完之後，好似鏡花水咁樣碌翻同一樣嘢，我咪中咗幻術。
Back for the Asia Southeast region. This is the Capcom Pro Tour. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're going to see who's going to be seeding themselves into the grand final spot. Vicious here with my man Jake Ryan to break down all the action as well. We've seen some pretty heavy hitters. Majority of the time, right, we struck our first 3-0 of the day. But just in case you guys missed it, we highly encourage you guys to check out the VOD as well as the World Warrior program that's been going on. I know Rob and Ryan have pretty much covered everything you need to know going forward. Because it's been pretty exciting just watching the to them explain the situations and
節奏慢，有乜分？即係你唔可以去到 S 記嗰啲咁快咧。咁我想差唔多。而家範圍慢好大鑊喎，可以睇住。而家範圍慢就俾人睇住跳波㗎啦。應該唔會嘅，正常咧阿龍嘅波動拳係唔可以睇住跳，即係去到勁啊 Urian 嗰啲有啲機會。阿龍嗰啲人唔得嘅，因為阿龍都得嘅話就波係冇用㗎啦。
Not one bit. Yeah.
Nothing worth doing in life is easy. So I mean, I love to see this from the players. You also have an opportunity to.
咁啊，多數都唔會嘅，道服係多數都唔會。如果唔係，咪即係個咁多年都係咁玩，冇理由今集改到個波咁廢。如果去到咁啊，大家一齊唔好放波啦，冇計。
Because we are making so much noise as we do each and every event for a good reason too. Let's take a look at the bracket and see exactly why we've been making all the noise that we've been doing so far. The winners finals between Bells and Brandon is going to be a pretty big one. Laura versus Luke.
上面應該唔會打住先嘅。
咁
又唔會 Dago 都唔放波㗎啦，你唔好以為 Dago 仲用龍啊，佢唔係一個龍玩家嚟嘅，唔好再相信佢。佢最後都係用翻啲唔係軍佬就拳手嗰啲咁嘅角色嘅啫。龍劍咪用龍咯。誠信破產啊！
And then Luke is, still top 1, I think, across the world. Everybody believes that the character is there. And Dalsum kind of sneaks in too. Shoutouts to Art, happy that he plays a strong.
你話如果阿 Dago 龍咪 top tier， Dago 會用。
The side of Mystic Crimson as well has been just such a
你信唔信？
We're not going to be seeing any Dawson. We're going to be seeing Luke, the OD character himself.
我而家玩 hit boss 咧，有機會令到佢嗰個即係交流再勁啲嘅，即係始終嗰啲儲氣唔知點解好極限嘅可以做到，我死勁。
Oh yeah.
So I do appreciate the fact that everybody is playing to win. I do understand. That tactic is very valid. Like if you see a character that's really good, why not gravitate towards that character? So we'll see it how it plays out within our next match. I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, down below, Lacuna C versus SKZ. Gonna be a banger. What's really important?
會啊，呢招勁佢先用啫，咪卡其實扭機咪唔用咯。根本就角色嘅問題，唔係角色嘅問題，而唔係龍型嘅問題。
Tomorrow. Wait, today's Sunday, right? Okay, yeah.
不可以相信的男人，同 Kido 都一樣嘅，都係勁咪用咯。一啲以前嗰啲 idol 偶像已經成為咗過去，因為不凡。會嘅，勁得嚟嘅 entertainment 係，因為真係勁優先嘅，我覺得係勁係優先過 entertainment。佢哋嘅揀角嘅標準係。
Overcome the reset, because at this level to overcome that, especially if you lost to them first, they already feel confident there and they get to rest.
Is that like a triple jeopardy at that point?
Yeah,
like if you're the one that sent them into losers, they come back to like grand finals and whatnot. It's like, oh well.
Yeah, that would it's actually pretty impressive to be able to do that, but we're going to see even more impressive gameplay because who do you think is going to be taking our next match, Vicious? If you had to like put all your money right now on red or black, what's it going to be?
Probably green. I think 0 and 00 to be honest with you, because I'm not gambling in the first place. Honestly, we're talking about
係啊，不過自從我睇完 Sako 打機之後，我睇法有啲人真係唔使贏都有錢，即係佢哋個即係唔止佢啦，跟輝嘢都係，或者係嗰個咩，即係英國嗰個玩釘嗰個都係。咁有啲 fans 級咧係好中意呢啲人。不過當然我覺得贏嘅人收多啲錢咯，但係有一紮人係純粹玩嗰隻角玩得勁，跟住就出名。雖然佢贏到比賽，但係好多觀眾咯。Smoke 嗰啲都係咁上下，即係變咗做娛樂型玩家都唔係為咗贏。
Is a big hurdle for SKZ to jump over.
打到個成績就算，放棄過壓力先要仲翻，佢唔會放棄啊！又係有啲人另類極端嚟，佢係中意用嗰啲角色就用嗰啲角色，即係唔會轉，即係好似印度佬用家、找換家、軍佬換家嗰啲都係咁 ，channel 換家都係啊，邊個啲時期都係用 channel 同 channel， 未出 channel 咪用其他咯，用即係出就轉，都話知佢勁唔勁。啊！一紮啲咁嘅人嘅，不過嗰啲人我安殘都計嘅，但係佢都最後都屈服咗啦，都係用翻啲卡啲幫下手。如果齋實家真係想食，即係又算得嚟又唔算咯。所以最近佢哋幫咗啲，雖然個成績唔係話好好，但係我 feel 到佢係想贏，但係真係唔想見其他角色咯，而唔係好似 Sako 咁樣，純粹想撚下隻角色俾大家睇下。即係佢唔係為咗佢唔係想紅嗰啲人。嗰陣時初期 Real S 角啊嘛，梗係堅持啦。一削咪唔用咯。幫殘最勁就係點解 Les 個 S to S Les 真係垃圾嚟，乜贏到個白金賽嘅，我都唔係好明。
Yeah, and playing out successfully right now, eliminating SKZ's hopes to escape the corner. But I love that! Lacuna just backing off after the V trigger is completely burned. Saying, yeah, walk forward, deal with these fireballs. And we saw that before too. This is just Lacuna's applying the game plan excellently.
最後都係玩卡鏈，佢等佢打完個3場之後轉卡鏈，跟住操咗半年卡鏈啊嘛。因為級就啲咩？因為級就打得唔幾好。我波頭。呢個又係恰對面咩個動畫似係東段嚟嘅，係其實下段嚟。最氣嘅壓制， 但係亦都係最勁嘅壓制，啊，仲要做個重轉，喂，臨尾點到。
Slight interruption there from Lacuna C, but not going to see the light of day, especially with that much life left. SKZ just need a light touch.
Yeah, the light at the end of the first round.
有 CA 入面都有 CA， 覺得 CF 勁啲。即係 VT 嗰波咧可以攞7成嘅，如果你冇 CA 攞4成咧，其實傷害就唔係好大。7成啊，真係無論你呢幾多血都好多俾壓殺死。唔係個抽獎權，抽中咧咁就可以即係擋咗都冇事。當然啦，中咗都唔係好大。哇，咁都斷唔到，係喎。呢個角反喎叫。
Go on in, like even if he goes.
咁啊，應該開 V 嘅啦嘛，係咪？
He could be pretty cheeky.
跟住之後求其中段又可以前跳又可以打個哇個升夠遠。我升都夠遠。我後邊啊，唔得啦，唔俾。哇，唔係 combo 嚟啊，幾慘。啱啱應該得，應該 combo 嚟㗎。冇理由贏到 V 反，冇理由 V 反唔到。係啊，好大嘅。啲 Seth 900血嘅角色。
Or Akuma. I think Seth and Akuma both die at that range. But SKZ losing that first game, and we thought that Falk wasn't able to V-reversal in that situation, but SKZ not able to close the gap. So, I mean, we see how now Lacuna C is navigating versus the V-Trigger 2, and that puts SKZ back to the drawing board. Like, okay, the tail of the tape is how do you utilize that V-Trigger 2? Lacuna has already showed one option to escape. SKZ, what are your other tricks?
靚聲啊
little by little, and that is a jump out he is willing to take. Lacuna C opting to go for that, just committing to that jump out option and taking.
又話係最 hea 嘅 CA 之一，呢個覆個 CA 抌上天波落嚟。
Not too bad of a trade-off, especially with the game plan you want to use as Falk, right?
呢個反我叫。
And now getting to exhibit that game plan once again.
我就係呢個啊嘛，抽獎槍，抽中咧就可以輕佢聲，超勁。
Like prove Lacuna's success earlier, and again, that's what we're seeing still. B skills activated. Come on, approach my orb. Ponder this.
I love the sound effect too of that V skill too.
哇，個跑步機。
Yeah, the confidence right here, and again, Lacuna got
開 V 啊，開 VT 啊，再唔開又冇啊。
Has the option still on deck. V-Trigger has been activated.
VT， 開 VT。哦，死咗。
huge。
唔開就冇啊，死都唔開，咪冇咯。唔聽我講嘢。
There's just so much of the screen you can't even traverse, right? Lacuna C is just going to be occupying so much of it, majority of the time. With normal.
佢即使單擊都好咧，個升都夠高，佢啱唔到個升，跟住係地下戰鬥。
You got to be able to crack the code somehow.
The
code is just way
too
hard to understand. And oh, wow, this is not. I don't think this is gonna kill, but now, yeah, this is one sequence away.
但係即拳超人啊！
Just been waiting for every sort of normal to hit as well, chipping away, making that light for the W even easier to see. Oh my God!
第一日用 VT 咧，你輸血咧，你輸好多咧，個 VT 都襟嘅。
Again, you can't make any mistakes trying to keep
竟然唔
yourself
偷雞，
safe.
輸先要偷雞喎。輸都唔偷雞就唔見偷雞，哇靚喎！
And that was a cross up to escape the sharp angle that normally can reach, and now
啱嘅，我都覺得呢個升係合理。
Yeah, DPing on your opponent's.
因為負啊嘛。
I delayed tech. I 100% delayed tech on that.
And
I would have got smoked.
And you got stunned and died.
Oh yeah, I turned off my console immediately.
You've never hit the PS button faster in your life.
I didn't even press the button. I just
我婆就話我中咗嗰下會熄機啦，中咗嗰下前升。
We're smoking.
It worked on us, SKZ. Lacuna C.
因為佢高估咗啊 Lancer 嗰個反應，佢係全質冇反應。即係所以你前搭到佢死為止都得嘅。
With the counter pokes consistently, and Seth just has not been able to really create an established lead at all, and the V-Trigger 2 is only hit once.
避咗個，嗰個位唔夠遠，咁啊無限攻。
Neutral jump comes out from Lacuna C, punishing the reactions of SKC. You gotta look for the forward movement, but again, it's so hard to anti-air the Falk because you can stop your own momentum with the fireball anyways, and stopping any momentum.
基本上成場撳下就死咗。呢個開多槍真係幾勁，都幾即係攞佢性能好高。
For so long, Lacuna C as impressive as ever. Looking to take down SKZ with possibly
靚喎學法喎。
from this top 8.
都9票贏巴力拳，超勁。
In a very familiar position, right? Not able to fully lock down Falk.
哎呀，咁啱你哋嗰下你又咩下中拳？
Falk out of the corner for free the last time, or at least with the toll fee of the upper side.
Yeah, and that was very minimal damage, and now that's how you get out of the corner. Oh, that's the first time he's punished on the B skill too, and now getting punished excellently. Nice throw tech. He had to there, but the jump maybe looking for another edge.
冇啦，都好 air grab
says, see you later, SKZ. Skirt on out of here because you're gonna have to play the at-home bracket. We'll see you.
呢個完全係大執喎，我覺得都冇得交流，堅大執。不過職業選手啊。
And what's kind of wild too is that Lacuna C was willing to slug it out in the corner. He's like, you know, this is gonna be just fine. I'm gonna chip away at you. I have.
下一場就又去翻時間啦。
Gonna be slightly better than yours.
話打隻軍佬，
佢
執過搶執過好多次，應該冇問題。
Oh yeah.
雖然個對決不利，但係我覺得唔知點解打軍佬特別勁。
We saw that SKZ felt comfortable
every single interaction
after that fireball, going for the V skill too. And Lacuna C holding it in their pocket, knowing the punish, and just says checkmate at the very end.
So good.
And you have to do that sometimes, I feel like, because Lacuna C obviously knew the right option there, but gave SKZ this false sense of security and just...
That's what it was, really.
Yeah. Like, I love to see that, especially at this level, and not only executing that game plan super well against Captain Y earlier, but, you know, putting a nice bow on it against SKZ says, I'm not even going to let you get around. You've got less health on this character? Thanks. I'm signing the papers.
Yeah, there's so many more impactful hits when it comes to Falk, right? Playing that hit and run style in that particular matchup is just so effective. You're hitting, it's not even death by 1,000 cuts at that point. You've reduced the math significantly. Yeah. It's like death by 50.
Death by 15 cuts. You know, I don't even have to interact as much anymore. And even in the interactions where SKZ was winning, there was only one V-Trigger 2 that scored a hit.
I think there was... Yeah, that's true.
It was just one.
I think it got countered twice, though. Yeah. I think there was a neutral jump that was involved. I even threw up the fingers. I'm like, damn, Lacuna C is he's calling that out. You kind of treat it like a dash punch, essentially, right? As like from Balrog, right? It's a very, very, very classic, traditional kind of tactic against something like that. So, a very committal kind of strategy from SKZ. Didn't really a couple of instances.
又唔係啲咩現場嗰啲 offline 比賽，唔使揾佢。
I feel really confident in my forward approach. Didn't work out too well. So Lacuna C made sure that he paid the price ultimately by taking him out of the tournament. Lacuna C moving on, awaiting his fate between Cien and Davlo. Ooh, now moving on even further into the bracket.
Yeah, that is the fight of veterans right there. And Cien versus Davlo is, I don't even know where to call it, because Cien is looking like a different beast than yesterday, really returning to form, showing the consistently. Davlo added.
Best option select.
Every single.
Because if you lose, if you lose, he's gonna be like, yeah, I mean, I called it. I said I was free. But if you win, it's like,
I'm nasty.
You lost to somebody who was free. Man, I'm pretty nice at this game.
If I'm trash, what does that make you?
This is the old man option select.
I love that.
He's definitely a veteran because of the fact that he's added himself in a public forum, a live public forum.
Yeah, and I love that. And
I
my favorite player of every single comment from Davlo.
I'm a fan.
Big fan Davlo. So absolutely energy you have. But you play Guile, so I don't.
Overall swell guy.
嗰個唔係即係你每次見到鏟都輸就搞唔掂。 所以應該有唔少對策，但係嗰隻交流有冇對策打 Seth 我真係唔係好覺啦，應該都唔會有。特登諗點樣打事咧？咩話？老婆唔俾打。
picked up the characters that he plays as well, right? He's the one who's
被老婆耽誤的職業選手。
Innovate the usage of V Trigger 2. I know Sakunoko was one of those cats to kind of bring that strategy together.
Yep.
But I think Seth, or sorry, we're going to call Cien Seth at this point.
Yeah.
He's the one that really took the stride to making V Trigger 2 successful, in my opinion.
And I absolutely love it. We're going to see the level of the game right here. These players have been playing for so long.
哇！前跳就係最好嘅嗰波方法。
On top, or is Cien Seth seeking success in this bracket?
I also got to say, Cien can do it all. He's a man of many hats, right?
Exactly.
Competitive Street Fighter V player, tournament organizer, and commentator.
咁嘅咩？呢啲比賽對鏟嚟講好緊要喎，一年淨係打呢個比賽嘅啫，冇 offline 比賽啊嘛，因為佢淨係打得呢個比賽。哇死啦！以前咧就擋下個波咧就越行越前，因為俾到加油壓力。但係而家你發現咧點無論點樣擋加油個波咧，佢都係推唔都係埋唔到佢身。咁啊間舐到一下嚟啦，開始啦。因為可以輕腳，立輕腳放波。哇！不過要武器技巧要幾好先得。C 啦。咁啊，波波嚟啦。擋到 ，OK， 升到 ，OK 兩次。死啦！應該已經贏啦。都唔知 Seth 點樣可以埋到佢。幾勁喎！
for that anti-air. Very tricky, too, to get that standing medium kick. I know people are like, it's not too impressive. The spacing and the timing of it, absolutely perfect.
Oh, 吸中，咁啊破招啦。
Confirm afterwards, not even going for the steal this time. You know, a different game plan than we saw before. Continue to lock down. There's the again and excellently.
And that's just a small price to pay to get out of the corner, right? That's something Gal is looking forward to. He's like, all right, well, you get me. I get to play with the rest of the screen afterwards.
哦，教佢幫波而喪鳩，不過幾好啦！加油次次都用個立輕腳確反。如果立輕腳搏可以 cancel 其他招，我覺得即係嗰個回報更加可觀。唔知係佢知道唔夠遠啦，定係嗰個，定係根本就佢出唔到。不過一個 UGM 加油我哋又唔識出啩，點都會研究下㗎。對空，咁我繼續放波喺度壓啦。基本上，只要維持到喺基本上擋第一個波咧，你只要瘋狂咁放咧，你相信 respect 對手佢唔會跳咁就 OK 嘅。哇，靚試入！哦，咁啊一下暈啦。No， 醒眼啦呢個。放波有機會會死㗎大佬。哎唔暈，呢個位有啲極限。哦開 V 估到你啦！哇！我估唔到你啦 combo。 呢個升我估到，呢個升仲有暈啊嘛，估到個升。但係佢仲要換埋邊啊，超勁！但係無啦啦拉咗個上掣，唉 ，Mr. Lau 又係，都可以咁扭。
That hurt to see. We just both looked away. It was like a car crash. Just happened right in front of us.
呢40幾歲玩家點樣轉 hit boss 啊？低過咩佢？揸支杆揸30年。
More than enough to watch right here in this stop and go traffic now.
That was just a big rig just tossing over. It wasn't even like a collision.
我終於記得翻我所啲波點出啦，佢簡單 hit 啊超大力。
It was just a single person.
install 咗就可以有個所啲波可以壓開行。
And it was like one of the ones full of gas.
對空。
It was not pretty, and it's not looking pretty right now for.
We're still waiting for the cleanup.
Yeah, we are definitely waiting.
對空，哇！呢個有啲曳，呢個可以咁搏嘅呢個我都見過，死唔死啊？ 死唔去我覺得。
Xian has every combo down pat with the absorption of the V skill. Like any sort of skill that he gets.
哎呦，追唔到！哎呦，死咗。
I've labbed your characters as much as I've labbed mine. You play characters, I create characters.
That's bars actually.
你boom.
You might have played the
哎呀，睇住你級啊！
You'd be like, you used all that tech that I put on the SRK forms.
Don't man, RIP.
咁啊，冇一啲好遠嘅特進技咧，佢嗰個刮腳擋咗咧都冇咩好做。
It's Bombo o'clock right now as we continue to boom and zoom through.
This is okay. Xian opting to go for the V skill 1 to kind of test whether or not Davil wants to chuck these booms or the
咁啊又嚟啦呢嚿嘢，唔好 V 反啦，靚啊，佢狂 mash 啊！ V 反到就 V shift 到一定有中間有罅嘅 ，V shift 可以擋晒前頭。呢個 set 飛係咁樣用。我一破呢個 set 飛就打下段。哇，爭少少。一個 C 死嘅呢個，開唔開到一係？咁試一度唔會俾你開啦。跳完未？哦，開啦，死咗啦。
I swear, Davil, if you drop this,
唔好再捉。大餅死啦，好大㗎呢個。 呢個應該打到即係即使 VT cancel 都係扣差唔多400以上。OK 一傳。哎呀，其實可以有啲驚嘅，其實因為我前跳就可以，即係佢離開咗級嗰個範圍咧，因為前跳可以打到個跳攻擊。不過佢驚佢一喐咧就會好似咁樣食咗一下。Sonic 鐵板靚啊！哎呀，太近，我反呢個太近咧，我又嚟一次。
Yeah, we haven't seen the punishes on any of these. Like the great reads from Diablo, but really leaving a lot on the table.
I will say his defensive options in getting out of the corner has been so.
哇！呢個對空100分。哎呀，真係唔敢 V 反啦！哎，擋到，哦，擋到冇用，死啦咁。有 CA， 無限攻啊！E0啦 ，CN 都收 run， 唔知我可以 run 幾耐啊？如果長3 CN， 即係對手偷雞贏都唔係好易。反而2集，即係搶2就咁死咗俾 Captain。
Trying to give us as much energy as possible. I'm gonna give him the nice, dude. All right, so they're yummy. They're yummy at this point.
係升呢啲嘢又真係，升呢啲嘢就亂嚟。
Dablo doesn't want any donuts. Dablo does not want to.
即係冇得話。
Set up, all right. The trap card has been laid. Even if you win, I win.
因為唔想俾你撳得咁放肆。
As a legend in the chat.
Yeah, exactly.
因為唯有升啦。
And if you win the chat, then.
因為如果你冇，即係你唔升，你對面真係撳到204個。不如升一升，等你打得下，突然之間放生我咁度，驚我升。哇！呢個角反到。哇靚！咁樣一個試入，升唔升？
Yeah. Just keep that pressure going in the corner.
So you again.
But that's a small price.
你升好似一件升咁樣行一下升。啊！又嚟呢個 reset 啦，前後 reset。唔擋啊 ！What is block? Sorry.
That's when you default.
我要你估翻轉頭，你都唔知，我諗你自己都唔知自己前定後啊嘛。
You never recover, and now trying to recover from this deficit, Dablo 1 round away from getting 3-0'd by Shen, and Shen has been on a tear so far in the losers bracket.
He's here for the repo.
He is. Repo man, all right. He's taken not only your limbs but your hope for the future.
How many Sonic Bomb there?
I mean, to be fair, Dow's already.
又放波，哦，
to be fair.
Let's see right.
又係 delay handcure，都係幾勁嘅呀！ 又嚟一下，死㗎啦喎，埋牆㗎啦喎，升唔升？又嚟一下，死啦真係死啦，一下暈。貪心的 CN， 不過唔緊要 ，CN 大把資源去，大把資源去 come back， 咁啊爭一下，下中腳下，我死咗啦，好大力㗎呀！
But it sets up very nicely for Diablo using the V star. He's using it.
哦，你冇啦 ！My Bobo is coming to your way， 死咗啦！啊，冇得 shield 喎，因為有 V 反。哦，不錯。啱啱想 chip 嗰下咧，因為見到右下角着燈，唔 chip 得。
goes down 3-0. Can we see that?
殺咗啦。
The Twitch chat message one more time. I know.
依家咧，以前就可以直接射個 CA 過去，即係佢冇 V shift 啊嘛。依家有 V shift 嗰時，依家都唔得。
I would say it was a favorite to win this entire tournament run, and now is making a bold.
哇，得翻 Top 4啦，咁啊應該去翻 Winner 啦，準備。不過應該又去播廣告啦，準備。
Davlo, who got so close to beating Bells as well, so. Xian now has to fight Lacuna C, who's also been making a tear through the losers bracket. I don't even know who wins at this point, but if we're talking about how convincing the win was, I can't even tell between Lacuna C and Xian. Can't even tell.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it in my mind, looking at the matchup on paper, outside of just looking at the players. There's just so much that Fel can do to control.
係咪準備廣告啦？我覺得打2鋪嘅廣告嘅機會好濃，所以我都係準備離開呢個畫面。不過 Tisa 嗰啲嘢冇咩好睇咯喎。呢個都係 Japan X， 呢個都叫 Japan Expo 啊。 Expo 嗰啲咩啊，大佬？
To go through. And speaking of a lot of characters, Street Fighter Duel is definitely that game to have that kind of roster. You can see it before your very eyes. The Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is now available for download in China with a global version coming soon. The epic legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now and let's fight for each other and join the journey with millions of players to become the best fighter.
And you know, the players here today are actually some players as well. Because
exhibition
today is going to be unlocked.
我成日覺得好似
即係佢哋都唔知玩咗啲乜。Following Tuesday, so you don't even have to wait that long to get the rest of the colors for whatever the winning character is today for the CPT. And there's even more new tracksuit costumes coming your way. So make sure that you are representing your favorite characters, and the champions get to represent for you as well here. So you can buy these all and really.
我唯一嘅 Smash 嘅對 Smash 嘅認識就係睇呢個咩，睇佢啲咁嘅，睇佢啲咁嘅 clip 咁啊算。
Skip my man Ryu.
Ryu's always looking clean, all right? Bucket Hat Ryu is the best skin. When I showed up as Bucket Hat Ryu to WNF on Halloween, I lost my mind, and I'm losing my mind at the red and black and gold right there as well.
咁準嘅攞法，
攞
法好難
嘅。死
咗咯。
幾勁。They are new,
多數都係卡梅啊。
improved, and all of the characters.
但師姑每日都喺度玩緊啲，即係隻 game 係大過我啊！呢隻 game 應該，佢成日都喺度玩呢啲。
And again, it's currently purchasable with
咁好玩嘅咩？嗰隻 FF 1、2、3、4、5係咪喺度 loop 啊？而家呢個咩 Kinlota？
And speaking of fight money, these guys are playing off for a pretty hefty amount of cash. We're getting closer and closer to that conclusion, but the main goal is to see who's going to make it into Capcom Cup this year for Asia. So we'll get to that answer pretty much after this break, so don't go anywhere.
好似冇咯，想睇街錄都冇得睇。有冇新嘅街錄片啊 ？SFX 呢個 SF6咧，咁都整個 tag 係咩嚟㗎？呢個？ 直播產 game 不錯，你 Alex 魔踢放 game， 呢個薯條哥，呢個過去的主角已經成為咗過去，真係冇咯，都唔係好明嘅，都唔係好明嘅咧，得加油 trailer 這播，乜差都冇。呢兩個其實我有咩關係嘅呢兩個人咁似 game 都可以，我都唔知嘅，得呢兩隻可以玩下。 其他我唔知玩咩好，因為話真係玩春嚟㗎啦，我真係要，我唔係好想玩春嚟啊，大佬，真係冇嘢睇喎 ，Tisha 又冇嘢睇，咁悶嘅咩？咁悶嘅咩？ 個咩嚟？驚先 TWT， 鳩睇下啲嘢。呢個元神啊 ，Electric Shift 癲嘅，唔係叫你唔好開冷氣嗰啲啊。廣州線下 ，Impatient have a brother to look for me. Let at my profile on。 哇！呢個 P 得好勁喎，呢個。 Have a nice weekend。呢個係咪有慣性規則咧？係唔俾有個樣啊？全部都攞個手機遮住個樣嘅。呢個有樣有本身，咁樣懟落去，呢個係咩嚟嘅？一定係動物之心呢個。呢個係咩嚟？有樣啦，終於。 幾誇張喎！有啲咩睇啊 ？The Chinese 呢個咩 Discord Team Lead， 你睇呢個咩嚟㗎？呢個咩嚟㗎？呢個好似好似啱啱個廣州線下嘅男版啊！ 中東有咩睇啊 ？TVHQ 有乜差嚟？唔係嗰啲咩叱咤樂壇嗰啲咁嘅嘢嚟。Violet 呢個唔知咩嚟，係咪啲 VTuber 嗰啲嚟？ My name is Seth， 有咩好睇啊？我寧願睇廣州線下仲好啊，好似冇咩好睇。碌落啲睇下啲咩睇先。屌，呢啲睇到識背嘅，呢個得閒睇下呢個睇街衫片。呢啲咁嘅即係電視嗰啲，即係佢今日仲研緊街衫嘅人，你諗下係咪 TQ 線？呢個咩嚟㗎？冇嘢啦，下邊，屌我 T-shirt 壞咗，乜都冇，冇嘢睇咯咁。北九州嗰啲有啲片睇下。
Many warriors have fallen, but there are world warriors still fighting for the top prize, which is
我覺得睇翻佢之前播嗰啲片，
and I believe we only
車咗個 match 睇下。
warriors left, which means we are in the money.
Yes, sir.
We are now fighting for the lion's share, and some of these players do not want to share any of that cash or any of that pride because the title is on the line. The title is CPT Asia Southeast. Once again, I am Jake Ryan, joined by the wonderful Vicious. I'm not going to call him the voice of Street Fighter this time. He can tell you himself and speak for himself. And tell me, how do you feel now as we've shaken through the bracket? We had our decision at the beginning who we thought was going to be and have our expectations.
好誇張喎，係咪想睇？
For the most part,
保證你除
had
褲。
you seen about like my predictions in top 16? I was looking forward to Brandon and SKZ.
Yep.
Right, we see how that played out primarily. Brandon is still pretty much like my ticket to win it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the momentum
Marco 啊，冇嘢玩。
So good right now.
成班喺度肥多輪，跟住同泰坦尼嗰啲嘢組隊。
Right? I'm a big fan of Xian, personal friend of mine as
發掘新嘅領域。
well. But at the same time, right now,
因為打街霸已經
he was
都知大做
kind of
乜。
worried about his gameplay.
Yeah.
Going into it. He said it on social media. He did
因
not.
為你冇嘢冇比賽啦嘛，大做咩？
The way he is right now, he is as sharp as ever, and that's a dangerous man.
Yep.
Right. In those sharky waters, with the momentum he has on his side, I wouldn't be too surprised if he managed to usurp any of the guys that come down.
佢又嗰啲即係講嗰啲 offline 比賽又。
One possible.
佢又唔講幾時打，又唔講有啲咩，
Look at that bracket. It is between Bells.
搞到即係好。
One can move on to the winner side of grand finals. Whoever has to play off afterwards.
好唔知即係
resume their fate
打嚟做乜咯？
between C and Xian and see how that goes.
不過其實得翻半年，我覺得佢宣佈完之後，聽日就要打啦。VFV 係喺壞獸度啊，你壞獸咗都冇用㗎，佢發咗效啦嘛。你發咗效，你壞獸都係，除非佢發效之前你一嘢壞獸食咗佢。如果發咗效你先壞獸咧，都係出唔到招。冇乜關係。因為啲人咧有擇嘅，一係就到你嘅 standby 飛嘅時候一嘢，一係就 standby 飛嘅時候就一嘢壞，一嘢就發效，唔俾你掹飛嘅時候先至食到佢。一係就掹飛嘅時候先至出個效果，咁就費事俾你無啦啦灰效。無啦啦俾你後分啊，或者而家方法俾你冇啊。咁啊，多數都唯一啲人都偏早嘅，都係一開波就直接。一開波就直接撳掣。
You know, if there's an angry Shen down there, I want to fight him the least amount possible. Is how I look at this. So obviously, Bells had a very good performance in the winner's side and moving on. But I think Brandon was much more convincing and playing on the arguably strongest character in the game and, you know, has an edge. I feel like Luke has so many tools to fight against Laura, but we've seen Laura navigate this.
Laura she can definitely explode. Right? Any sort of big opening, any sort of counter hit, she can get one of two scenarios, right? She can blow you up for a ton of damage or get the mix going. Sometimes in special scenarios, she can get both because she can get herself into that Oki position, have herself in V-Trigger 1, and it's going to be a party no matter what, right? So it really depends. Luke, I feel like, can get to those situations way more often than Laura can. So we'll see how this plays out, right? Battle of Laura versus Luke. Either way, someone's going to be taking the L. Yeah, and the L will be delivered whether it's from Luke or there are 2 L's on the screen so far. One will leave. But yeah, like I said, I think the biggest thing that Luke has enabling his win conditions is a lot easier than it is for Bells, and it's not necessary that he has to trigger to get that started as well. A lot of her momentum is on the side of Bells because Brandon is doing everything, and this is where you can challenge back. You need to be able to continue this guessing pressure. Playing that defensive. You are exploding. 明明冇跳到，都攬唔到，我都唔明。係咪貪心用個短板嘅鏡頭？哦嚟啦！咁啊兩下死，啱嘅呢個。Following suit after the thunderclap, but still, you know. 咁啊，呢個電喺，哇！佢已經決定咗下中腳之後就要放電，所以佢下中腳打到對手咧都冇諗過，即係轉撞。Rubs his feet against the carpet and touches you. You're shocked at the outcome, all right? The thunderclap. 哇！直接用呢個 V 消避，都諗喎。好似幾好。It turns up on the other side instead. Yep, that's right. Oh, the low forward confirmed. Brandon just excellently. 但 Brandon 嗰啲輕拳，你成日都會中間好甩嘅。We saw them able to escape before, not able to confirm 喎。我打一個啦，單先。Gets the play. But again, Brandon's has been challenging on every single Oki. OK 兩次死咗啦。And you know, there's been so many instances where Bell 求其撳晒啲掣佢，開埋 VT。因為資源方面咧就 Laura 有利嘅。碌都有權可以零氣秒咗佢，一開波變三個氣，攞個攻勢。咁 Laura 一隻新角色咧，加六人唔見咗，咩加埋已經升過嚟做乜？升過係會唔見。咁啊，偷雞。不過呢個好難用反應去講反。呢個輕，呢個立輕拳好似減4。哦，死啦，要死！好大力㗎呢個。哎呀，呢個可以大啲。可以放電之後嗰啲拳腳打連曬之後，俾個電打中，跟住再放電嗰啲嘢。可以咁做。呀！哇！佢個跳攻擊打唔中 Laura， 所以就 jab 到，勁啊！佢應該想打下段，之後俾人 jab， 打到兩隻。啊，8-1。No, there was no meaty that came out from. It was just a neutral jump. He missed the safe jump. 可能想打下段，所以喺下段咧，你有冇輕攻擊咧？即係特登唔撳，咁對方以為打中段，即係特登，因為之後轉去打下段咧，咁就會即係中間有少少賴，可以 jab 到。不過多數啲人都唔會撳到，因為你撳咧就會食嗰個跳攻擊，仲大鑊。To back herself up on Wake Up. Yeah, true. There's no DP. They like after the first sequence, there was a potential V reversal, but other than that, there was nothing. So missing that meaty is definitely just a player error, and Bell's cap. 你好似係泰國人。Be like, no normal, no life bar. You got. All right, shake my hand. Best trade deal. 哇！呢個前重拳好想打到啲大嘢喎。I wish you could call. 一又點到？哦，就咁撳輕拳，一嘢食咗 X 波。呢個撞咧，其實雖然擋咗安全，但係點解減？冇咩必要咧，如果連個撞都唔撞埋個 confirm 咧，咪勁。Looking at it, with the life lead right now, does get the activation into the trigger. Thermal barrack to kind of keep Bells. 哇，痛啊！呢個。Oh, and that distance was immaculate. Yep, that is so much damage off the easy confirm. And like we said, the win condition for Brandon is a lot easier to achieve, and you just get so much damage off of any one interaction. So Brandon capitalizing excellently. 又會噴嚟咗，咁易嘅咩？哇！呢個睇唔到啊！呢個有啲難睇喎，係咁容易發生嘅咩？佢是但撳個下中腳之後抌上天咁就呢個位啲勁。我嚟啦！
啲 Laura 啲呢度似 Laura 啲 comeback 能力有冇啊？哦 ，fan 底。
That was definitely a buffer shot that the hit
哇，前前追後後。哦，但係都俾人執到，看得 hit， 又係呢個畫面。你夠唔夠？跟住我一起上 V 先避咗個條。哇！中咗兩個波。哦嚟啦！有啊有啊有啊有啊！仲有一次，得佢二集。OK， 特登打一陣先至正頭。都啱嘅，你要即刻指認頭太明顯，打一陣先，等你覺得我唔會鳩嘅時候鳩，咁啊繼續。喂，如果 Brandon 跌咗落去，真係應該嬲到爆炸，呢個確反嚟嘅，中嚟嘅。哇！又係呢個畫面，中權，但係佢如果入到 level 2咧就死啦。死啦有機會，好大力嘅呢個。死唔會，冇啦，打直波殺咗。
That's exactly what we were talking about before. Doesn't need V-Trigger to get that job done. That one interaction leads to a beautiful sequence for Luke, and that's why this character is so coveted in that #1 spot, because he creates those situations so consistently.
Yep.
While on the side of Laura, you have to really put yourself out there and commit. And if you commit in the wrong way, you might just get tripped up.
And we saw it. We saw it play out exactly like that. I mean, after that entire sequence from Luke, got himself a triple layered burrito. There's just so many different types of frame traps that could lead into that victory for Luke specifically.
Yeah. And again, easy confirm with the target combo right there too. And again, backing off. Brandon playing that neutral excellently, getting the buffer right there too.
咁啊，喺度打緊呢個拳腳交，不過都幾好睇嘅。其實呢啲位，基本上就係睇 Laura 點樣可以埋到佢，都有中撞或者打落單埋到佢。一開始嚟啦，哇掂啊，死都唔喐。喂，冇紅分。升落去，有啲諗法。呢個立中腳真係覺得屈機嘅，都今日佢。開 V 先啦，唔開 V 得陣死。哇！你夠薑搶，你夠薑搶，真係
堅。And already applying a preoccupied normal with that crouching medium punch, checking the movement immediately. The bell.
掂啊，攞單先，呢個加2啊，好勁。
Handshake that Brandon presented. The thunderclap now putting a lot of work.
你靚隻，打個 TC。
Brandon making the most out of that crouching jab.
哇！你係打中嘅時候 reset 係難過擋咗之後個打頭2陣，打中 reset 先嚴重，攞快個 V 再前傳。
Yeah, and again, this gray health is going to be so huge here, utilizing the V-Trigger in multiple ways. Can regen that bar as well.
喂，打個打傷害先，開埋個 V 招，打兩下勁大力，喂冇事擋到。你諗下開 V 啊，可能都係前重拳嘅啫，我諗。又中，咁易中嘅咩？咁咪一下死嘅呢個位。仲唔開 V？哇 ，cancel 唔到 VT。喂，你想開？佢想開 V，一鳩升落去中間，唔俾你開 V。
Straight the sweet chin music. And Brandon is hearing that victory music right now. The oh man, I'm not gonna finish that
I was
one.
waiting. I was like, I love that song.
Yeah.
咁我聽到 Final Fantasy 嗰個音樂，隔離公司喎得唔得㗎 ？SC 嗰啲嘢。
Gaps he's trying to steal turns away, preemptively with that thunderclap, but that's just not gonna fly with somebody like Brandon. Pretty much utilizing, even if he didn't have meter, I think the fierce rocket uppercut would have been able to blast through the projectile no problem.
Yeah, and I love to see that right now. We're definitely seeing Luke on narc duty, not letting any turns be stolen, and he does have that opportunity.
Laura 轉角啊？
With how good that uppercut is, like if you have that Laura matchup experience, you know the pockets, you know exactly what you're looking for, and you know, kind of a little bit tired of getting command grab. So love that, and it's. Even though it was punished twice, 2 times, Brandon just keeps on sending it. Doesn't matter. It's like, oh yeah, okay, what's my risk reward here? Okay, I get stuck in a knockdown or I win. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take that risk.
To be fair, there's a lot of damage that could be put on the table from Laura.
True.
So there is a significant risk behind it. And I think that's what makes it even better of a call out. It's like, all right, well, I think it's more of a read and reaction.
一啫，講到好似就嚟完咁嘅。
There is some significant time from the start of a thunderclap.
Yep.
But at the same time, yeah, Brandon still has to have that option in mind, right? So there's it's both read and reaction.
Yep. It's a mix and a mix of mixes. that you have to be, and the mental stack is definitely there because that's the game that Laura has to play, and it goes back to that point I wanted to make before where Laura has to make that commitment, and Luke, you know, committing right back, but finding the options where, you know, Laura doesn't get the starter pressure unless she goes for that thunderclap, and right now clapping
我 feel 到嗰種秒殺嘅感覺，一開波坐低已經食咗兩個 hit combo， 食咗兩個 low hit， 食咗兩個下中腳。我掂唔到，哇大鑊啦你！哇呢個避到咧，但係都避到都會食個中拳，係咪真係確反嚟？可以啊！哇傻佬啊！佢呢啲位咧露出聲，因為放波架都露出緊，咁啊知道中間有鬧聲落，佢唔會向後嘅。哇呢個好痛啊呢個 ！OK， finish Laura， 兩下搞掂。死咗啦！好大力啊！我試咁升咗個空氣啫，得條橋好似倒水咁嘅。一燈真係一燈好似讓佢咁。佢家阿 Bella 阿巴利已經係直接波落去啦，唔好諗。佢已經唔會同你喺度認真咁樣慢慢打流。直接喺度鬥，直接喺度攞輸出一下秒嘅啫。諗下話指定頭打暈啊嘛，偷雞咁嘛同我。不過 Brandon 而家都 feel 到嗰種節奏。Laura 不嬲都係攞嚟玩做 Damage Monster 嘅角色嚟嘅。咁啊，一下死。咁啊，嗰邊都要好小心。佢而家向後飛，佢知道對面會升，但係佢死咗。佢啱啱向後衝咧，就唔好俾佢升啦。咁得 block 㗎，冇乜原因㗎喎。佢決定咗捽啦。決定咗捽咧就佢都唔睇個畫面，無論 Laura 做緊啲乜，佢都會升落。係嘛 ？Laura 都變得幾快，一開波俾人撳住嚟打。跟住突然之間佢發現咧，正常打唔係好對路咧，即刻亂嚟反而贏到。哇！咁啊 ，last game。Command grab 不嬲都戇鳩㗎啦。而家改咗咧 ，command grab 之後嗰啲 combo，command grab 起手嘅 combo 食啲咧，好少少。以前 command grab 起手冇 scale 咧。仲大力啊啲
We're starting to see a little bit of a slowdown, right? Coming in from Brandon. There's been a couple of normals that have just been let loose for free. A couple of thunderclaps as well. This is the opportunity for Bells to strike. I don't think Brandon is going to be throwing out
暈咗又嚟一次畫面
anytime soon. He has been shooketh to the core from that previous experience. No, that is not the drop you want.
Yeah, that was
not the moment.
大鑊啦！呢啲位好傷士氣啊！呢啲位。有機會咁樣會死，但係冇事。嗰個位埋板邊精頭暈應該要好熟㗎呢啲位，成日出現呢位呢位。咁得有咁實力嘅，佢 level 2啊啱。本田 stand 傷害低。唔緊要啦，本田唔存在一定嘅。
Yeah, EX Sandblaster point blank gets the knockdown, and now this is where the corner pressure comes in. Luke just starts to shine.
Laura 換咗人係唔會，哇靚 Trey 又 Trey 好大嘅，咁難睇嚟咯。靚 Jab， 咁啊應該就如無意外都係等死嘅。冇事，仲可以衝一次。哦 ，last game last run， 係要打到第5燈喎，係打到最後，係打到最後一燈。我睇下我哋點處理先。呢個確反嘅，我都唔夠姜確反。
Oh man, and yes, again, the screen real
升到，哇！呢個有啲嬲喎，所以就射一下。哇！呢下回報大啊！死唔死啊？死啊！有機會。
You might be dead. You might be. Oh, yeah, you were done so.
1000血冇用啊都，打敵方死咗。哦 ，Brandon 3-2。
Even though it was not enough to kill at that last
round,
you had to make so many right reads and hard commit against Brandon. And with the willingness to DP that Brandon has been showing, you make one mistake in that situation and you're done. And the throw closes it out. Sin Brandon going to be sitting pretty in the grand final side with the definite character to feel dominant there too. Like the only Luke left.
阿 Brandon grand final 啦，距離呢個 Capcom 級仲爭一場。有冇辦法可以？因為本身級就算係咁啦。終於有呢個，終於打到機啦。
Another normal, a throw potentially, like a walk up throw. Who knows?
唔會啦，六咩好屌㗎啦！我話俾你知，街六一出嗰陣時，一定有好多角色都係戇鳩。話俾你知 ，CN 都要過五關斬六將。佢兩條命打 CN 咧，一條命就話兩條命贏 CN， 即係只要兩條命贏贏咗一條命贏到 CN 就得，都未去到話好難，即係一定易過，一定難過，一定易過一條命。街六一出嗰時，應該有好多嗰啲戇鳩，有啲戇鳩嘢出現，我都好期待有幾戇鳩。因為咧，如果戇鳩程度嚟計咧 ，S 一係戇鳩過 S 二，戇鳩過 S 三，戇鳩過 S 四，咁啊，所以咧你就預咗佢哋，即係預咗 S 係最戇鳩嘅版本，一定好多嘢可以跳。
Yeah, then you got this right here, the crouching jab. What do you do after that? Maybe crouching medium punch into back medium punch again. I don't even know, man. There's so much that could come off of a single round. You get that blocked or hit, you see the tree range just expand.
可以好玩㗎。即係把你加 feel 想射啦，阿龍嗰條輕腳對唔到空嘅。跟住 Mika 有空氣場，跟住 Ken 有4點鐘拳，係咪弱智啊？咁啊，福對 Seth。
Lacuna I did confirm it in the previous break. Did take it over Captain Y. No, Captain Y did take it over Lacuna for the World Warrior, but. Not gonna matter today because Captain Y is no longer in the bracket.
係啊，4點鐘拳啊，好勁啊 ！S 嗰時4點鐘拳嚟嘅，佢唔知你邊日發明嘅黐孖筋。所以 S 係好戇鳩啊！街六咧都會出現啲咁上下嘅嘢，你都預咗㗎啦。第一季係咁上下，隻 game 都係咁。
This is your chance. This is your last opportunity to make. Your run to get that CP
即係有少少似 Cammy 個後中拳咯，但係距離遠到撲街版。
I hope I don't give him the commentator's curse. Lacuna looking pretty sharp as well, right? He's making his run from the loser side. He went 3-1, then over into 3-0 territory. It's gonna be pretty rough. I think it's gonna go down to the wire. I would love to say, but. At the same time,
又未去到大家都勁嘅，有啲勁係真係得有佢冇你，即係勁嘅次元唔同啊！我嘅勁係勁過你個勁3倍。你即使你嘅招嘢都勁咧，都唔我攞住個招嘢，你都喺我面前都係個垃圾。咁就好似大師，都係斷雙流大師咁樣。個個都係垃圾。
Shen already has a warmed up Lacuna to deal with in this character matchup, but Shen has definitely been the strongest set in the.
基本上呢個對決同之前打 SAC 一樣都係，即係睇下試輕會唔會自己撞埋佢嗰啲咁樣開槍，撞埋隻腳度俾佢開槍。咁啊開槍點一下先，咁啊都係等，中距離都係等開槍同埋等，即係都係預擋造成嘅傷害多過打到對嚟傷害。咁樣擋開下槍咁樣點幾拳，跟住得閒回收下敗血咧，已經 set 嘅血量已經可以自己打到第4。
Shen trying to shine and fight right back. Has the V trigger too? When are we opting to utilize it though? That's the question. I feel like you want to get a little bit closer to the corner so you can create a sequence that just pays off much better. But you know, for that moment, it's also a little bit difficult because you could technically build even more B meter.
I'm just scared of trying to get a mix-up on someone like Falk in the air because of her delayed uppercut.
Exactly.
And she has such a sharp angle to hit above her head and behind.
我埋一場啦，試下可以打機啦，冇嘢啦，試下打到機啦，可以 CA 話啊嘛。流血係咪一件好事？我唔使，流血係一件好事嚟嘅。啱啱爭少少可以 CA 嘅，如果你唔用氣又可以 CA。嗰兩個孖腳可以儲氣。
Lacuna getting that first round in a pretty good way, and it was cheap.
I will say there's something important. There's something to be said.
可能打聲有利
In
添。
actually
都
getting
咁
that
睇。
tactic out of Lacuna,
Yep.
whether or not
嗰個距離，嗰個
I
拳
think
腳都
Sam should have
係。
utilized that V trigger to
即係
test the waters a little
只
bit.
係如果唔係用分身咁樣，如果唔係用生命去衝埋去咧，我諗都埋唔到佢。
I know now that you're willing to use this anti-air as an option if I try to go for the air.
一個反
We'll see if
減
it
成。
plays out, right? Sian off to a fantastic start, at least in this
Oh,
round. The
升唔到。
anti-air is not
Oh.
coming through for Lacuna. You see the uppercut attempts.
冇話升唔到啊！佢連 A 對 A 都唔得。
And nothing connecting so far, and like you said, at
係過
least
去
getting
有
that
CA 啊
little bit
試
of data is super important.
反彈喎呢個，就
Shen
對呢發
is
射
here
個
in this position for a
誒
reason. That
靚
was such good
靚打埋 V
punish right
反
there, not allowed to escape from me.
對有一次
This is where Falk just changes up the entire tempo. I am the one moving forward.
見得一下
Shen
死
is not the swing.
下中腳放個波或者試下點下
you're
CA 先
I think you
但
might
係
be
未
dead
死
because
喎
Star
呢
does
個未
not
死
have a lot of
呢
skill.
個未死
Seth does not have a lot of health. It's gonna be so close.
冇嘢啦死
I
咗
can't believe
This
it.
is Seth.
I actually can't believe it.
即係每一次都
Also,
係
that projectile
個血量都係令人
to
哋
continue
刷新呢個
to
上
Lacuna
限
C is
每一
quite
次大技 CA 殺咗我都覺得咁都可以咁大力
That
嘅
was off of one mistake right there, and that is the double-edged sword that is Seth. Yes, you do get those situations where once you get your pressure going, you get to explode your enemy, but you're riding a thin line. You are riding a hard line that you make that mistake, especially against Falk, like she's going to explode you, and all the resources were held on for Lacuna, and was winning all those neutral situations too while
我用個星嚟
so
儲
hard.
氣
Look out, like
跳繩啊喺
how
度
do you
我話
not
儲氣先
It's so
你同我鬥儲
difficult.
氣
I was gonna say like
即係見到阿 Lesa 嗰個不滿啊你儲氣我係咁撳
We
PP
still have a lot of Street Fighter to play.
冇大間尺啊嘛
That first game, but it was close.
呢啲卡啲925血啊
By no means.
所以卡啲就唔會死啊
it's so sick.
It's
Yeah,
so
he
funny.
generates
Seth 咧900血咧就卡啲 Seth 會死
That's absolutely
我個
sick.
卡啲嘅
I love
眼睛去
that.
睇
I was
Seth 咧
like,
就
wow, he really just
我就
pulled that
我就儲
from
好錯咗
And the way it disappears through that animation
Yeah,
is
yeah.
super sick. I love the intricate design of
即係我
Seth.
都唔覺得 Seth 係900血
In terms
如果
of
以前嘅
like,
Seth 係900血就合
the
理
move,
而家嘅 Seth 900血就
The
唔
way the
合理
moves are produced.
the inventory
Yes,
that
buddy.
he gets.
Yeah. Oh man, we're seeing full inventory. We have checked the ad hoc.
開 V 啊
and effectively-
得唔得啊呢個開
Oh, that
V
was so good.
哇咁
That's how
低
you deal with the
唔
mirror
低第二下會擋到嘅可能真係福利咁喎
Now we are dead.
角色問題我覺得
Huge, and I like that. Calling out the potential of an anti-air by
破
using
板
the dive.
誒咩唔破板
35 seconds left on the
呢個好似
clock.
減好多喎輕
We're going to see it charging, getting a little bit of chip damage to secure that win condition even easier off of a light normal. We'll see if that plays out. Sian can also get
依家就基本上
significant volume off of a
都係等開槍再
medium
撳翻下
We'll
槍
see Lacuna taking
試咧就要好咁樣咯
not checked.
大衝突衝佢先有計
14 seconds on the clock. Maybe we'll see the time over.
Yeah,
but
we
Lacuna C might not let it happen.
Yeah, the chip is definitely on the side of
咁
Lacuna
啊
C's.
可能呢一日唔係鬥打中啦依家鬥鬥擋嘅時候攞到多啲
out the
血
normals. The X comes out in the
哇
air to
擋
air
埋
is what gets
Air to
Lacuna C
air,
that lead.
okay.
We did not get a time over, but Lacuna C used that timer. Every second was crucial to those decisions.
咁啊
that
是
Sian
咧
was
啱
making.
啱趕時間
All I know is
所以就會俾所以先至
C
跳
was making all
即係
the
俾
right
福嗰條
decisions
輕拳
to,
打落嚟
um,
好難啊
even
呢個對佢可能真係唔好打
in
咁
that-
啊有粒波喺度
Some of
咧
that billing
就
meter,
可以
you know,
儲氣
utilize all the special moves and
一個
normals.
V
We're
skill 要
playing
可以
First
儲
Strike on
4
screen
次
right now.
升嘅氣量都幾勁
Oh,
No,
nice.
there was an attempt at an anti-air though.
Yep.
Did see the
誒
start of the
破板
uppercut, man.
又可以坐
I
高氣窩
love the
窩
impact
再
of
儲
that.
氣
It may not do like the most damage. It's significant damage, but I think the biggest takeaway is how
呢個波
far
要
he resets
拳腳打中佢先會
that
爆
corner. Look at
即係
the
如果
control
對面
that Tennessee
嗰個飛到
has.
咁久你遠咧你唔使
One
驚
jump and a little
咁啊落
overzealous.
上岸先啦
Now getting that corner position, this is where the party starts again. And off
前
the
得
hit, this is where we want to see the big
前得
activation, but holding on to it the entire time because
咁
now
啊
he
輕腳
can
爆
release the
波
stun. I
咁
love
啊
that
中係
decision.
死啊
On
呢
the side of Shen,
因
and
為
that
暈
was so clean. Everybody in chat got hit by that, building as much meter as possible.
輕拳
Afterwards,
升
easy extension into the next dimension, getting around on the board. Shen might have gotten poked out, but that's what Seth can do. You get that first sequence, and your opponent is so afraid of the V trigger that they fall to the throw. They follow the rules of Street Fighter.
哦我覺得登啫喎唔係邊度有彎
I
都得
wonder
一
what
個
happens when Lacuna decides to
所以
like an uppercut.
Just bust out.
Yeah.
即使要打幾靚都好咧攞唔到一登都係冇意思
Lacuna, if you can hear us, put your earpiece back in. Uppercut on the next V trigger too, please. Thank you.
Jump if you give us if you copy. All right.
Alright.
That would have been funny if he did like an air fireball.
Yeah, would have been great.
幾辛苦
Not in
你又唔可以埋你唔可以大衝埋
right
佢
now, but in the
就會食佢個輕拳
head,
槍
Shen
勁大力
continuing to connect with
哇
these. Oh, that was
攞傷害啦
so good. Catch and
Oh, that's
recovery.
right. There's a stream delay.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, the jump was there, but
哦，掂啊！
but there is
又攞到暈啊，應該暈啊。
from Shen. And one touch
得唔打暈你，因為打暈咗咧就扣殺唔死，咁啊死咗啦。
Evening up the score, 1-1 on the board.
佢好需要嗰下殺，
No
得唔打
Ibuki
暈。
necessary. I mean, if it was a 2-0 deficit, we can potentially see that.
Yep.
But Seth, just an onslaught of pressure. Once we get into that corner position, it felt like that Lacuna C does not have the answer.
And it's such a standard procedure after that. In that very moment where stun is imminent, like you don't want to overstep your boundaries. You could go for like a ground air option, but I do like the not as Seth, right? Being able to change trajectory and hit that hitbox right in front of your opponent's face, thinking that, you know, maybe I can try to contest it, maybe I could try to walk under it because there might be a cross up, etc. But no, being able to mix it up that way. Took full advantage of it.
Yeah, it's forcing your opponent to overreach, and I love that from Shen, showing
a
massive amount of experience. But the experience is also showing from Lacuna C because the consistent anti-airs, you set up the V skill, you set up the fireballs, and it makes Shen want to go to the sky. You can't just sit there playing until you just keel over and lose. So Lacuna still laying the traps excellently. It's charged up right there. You gotta be watching.
佢唔想咁樣死自爆。冇啊，東南亞啲人唔識得唔知什麼是 T 啊啲。
So
冇用 S 角。
fireballs, no problems. Oh, and again we see that same punish from Shen. Understand when Lacuna wants to go for the air fireball. This is where the party starts immediately stopping the hope of DP.
There's so much of a gap.
得啊，打唔到背啊。
Yeah, being able to interrupt that front point for Lacuna.
No anti-air this time.
OK， 呢個跳。
Anti-air required.
啱啱佢 auto pilot 咧射埋個重跳，食個跳攻擊。
Onto Shen, you have no health left, and that gray health is huge. It just backs off. I love that.
And so Lacuna gets
即係喎，佢有個唔知咩有個中下段好似嘅 bot 咧，同埋有個好似拿 Disco 咁嘅自己爆炸嘅個控制，個前跳一記同埋喺地下中啊嘛，死咗啦！14個等於反射角。
To cause that bounce, I don't think Shen was mindful of that at all. I think he already opted to a jump. I don't recall why exactly, but
yeah, that definitely hit full distance too. So I don't think Shen expected it to have that horizontal reach, and you know paid for it. That's what you get for reaching.
呢一槍咧好痛，中個中腳冇咁多血。Sep 咧打個大中拳，唔知怪你都冇咁大力。
Yeah, I like that you
有一下，
skill too, even though you
吸空氣有
take
食傷。
now you have your V trigger. Oh yeah.
有跳繩喺度，又中一下。
Figure out the fire.
哇！又嚟多次啦，咁辛苦跳埋去又中一下。
You just cannot.
Look at how much control Lacuna C has. The C is definitely control.
長手大劈指令頭。
But now, with full resources, two magic sequences for Seth can make this.
好嚟啦！呢粒波，
where it begins.
夠唔夠到時間咧？
夠
到少少啦，唉。
Is he a one-hit wonder in this situation, or
can
he make the magic happen? Here's number 2. Can we get another one? Number 3.
Possibly.
Give it up for number 4, but no.
That actually would have been it.
If
Sien had been able to steal his turn back and get a back throw, I think the stun would have happened.
And then
gets the corner positioning, would have had enough meter to extend the combo into whatever he wanted.
Yep.
But Lacuna C 100% on it. He was like, all right, he's gonna try to steal this turn back and be a little sneaky about it. I'm not gonna give it to him. Yep. He was mashing on that throw as soon as he got movement.
Yeah, because I knew that in that throw, that situation, you were going to get the game.
冇啦，你唔落點追過去？
On that
你
next
唔追過
level.
去？
No, we're not going to character select. We are sticking with the
你唔追過去咧就
sticking to their guns. You know, been in this position before.
你唔追過去咧就追唔即係打唔暈。
In that veteran stat.
但係你追到你唔打唔暈咧就嗰個又可以放棄，咁都要衝啊！問題佢係前衝啊定係跳衝啊定係跳埋腳衝？因為衝得有智慧啲咯要，選擇咗最冇智慧嗰個方法嚟嘅。
We saw the startup with the DP once again, and it feels
it's so difficult to even try to adapt to that particular technique against Sien, right? Just having to look at the side for a couple of options.
見到佢嬲啊真係，抽200佢仲要彈到冇雷公咁樣。
Am I possible to do that? Do I even uppercut it? Because I got stuffed the last couple of times I tried it.
冇啊，唔俾跳。冇
冇
無敵都好咧，呢一槍我支波太勁，冇氣射唔到，冇氣又好啲，咁嬲。 有氣真係一槍射死咗俾人。
So close to being 1 round away again.
埋場啦，
埋
場加埋你 VT 嗰粒波應該都贏到嘅。我話冇 VT 啦咁冇嘢。哦
And back to square one.
點算
？With the orb, deal with the fireballs.
又要跳繩啦喺度。
So threatening as well.
就要再吹多粒波出嚟。
Can't make his move yet. 30 seconds on the clock. Look at how much life.
冇乜時間剩㗎啦喎，你唔好喺遊行嗰時咧。
Making that win condition so much easier for Lacuna. Down to pretty much a single hit. Any interruption will pretty much do.
前撞落去個波，嗰陣死少星出現啦，真係好難打喎，飛到呢邊。只係唔夠多血埋佢，呢隻角色，你埋佢呢隻角色要一先就先埋到佢，嗰塊血咧埋啲已經死 Q 咗。
Trying to make it to Bells and then ultimately to Brandon, and Shen is the target at the moment. Let's see. How do you close this out? Can Shen make this comeback? Has almost a full stick of butter.
哇！下中拳行到，再加埋嗰個，跟住如果你前跳發現對面冇撳掣咧，就即刻開槍。對面真係睇住你開槍，仲勁過呢個斬空波動拳。喂，靚，得到啦，嚟啦！我呢個有啲慢，OK， 打個傷害先，嗱一下暈啦，擲到就暈啦，擲唔到就擲唔到 ，OK stun， 未死。一拳超人，一拳，爭一拳，哇！呢一拳幾大力㗎！咁啊，臨死之前跌落懸崖之前，仲可以打到拳，起一級勢啦。set 出咗之後，佢都冇個 Ibuki， 跟住 set 俾人傷腳咗 ，left 咗，咁啊打咗一半傷害咁樣。不過福咧係唔係一個，佢唔會追雲直嗰啲角色嚟，佢寧願即係行前少少推一推板邊之後就維持一個安全開槍嘅距離。係啊，Ibuki唔夠勁，職業選手唔可以用啲唔勁嘅角色，唔可以用啲唔可以用啲贏嘅角色。set 都唔夠勁㗎 ，OK， 咁啊，至少佢有勝利嘅第一步就係呢個波打中人，勝利第二步就係打到 cross up， 第三步就個打中人，佢想單刮腳打一個大突，不過臨尾升落去，搬到個升，咁啊開 V 啦，大鑊啦，仲要擋呢粒咁嘅神奇槍，呢個加無限槍，好啊，哇 OK 喎，升咗次喎呢個位，嗱時間仲要仲可以做得個失誤，夠唔夠佢個？確反呢個機會，其實佢自己好想要個 VT， 冇啦，自己 GG 啊嘛，福有計，哇 Top 3啦，打啊呢個打隻啤啦。
Moving forward in this bracket, has to win not only the next set against Bells, but has to overcome Brandon not just once.
跟住就去打 Brandon。
Man, that was
福好勁啊！我覺得，
such an impressive array of
因為中腳開槍好勁，中腳開槍近你就可以欺拳升，遠就射多槍，好大力啊！跟住空中開槍都好勁，空中開槍咧，空中開槍勁過豪鬼喎，我覺得，即係你前跳開槍，你會垂直落嘅喎，大佬。咁你咪唔會俾人升咯。如果對面下重拳對空，你咪俾佢槍射中咯。如果見到下面對空嘅話，你槍射中，跟住再補多下槍，勁嗰下又係好大力。只能由細啱嘅，呢個版本唔係好啱咯，我覺得。以前就啱。咁即係之前頭先最勁得Abigail。要言家話你今日先講，你未？我今日先知你會講，我今日先知你有講呢句。你言都幾前衛。我啲水先，應該有 break 啦，應該冇估錯。
On to then fight Bells right there. What a losers finals that we have set up. And again, Brandon just gets to watch it all from his tower at the top. The top tier Luke gets to watch the peons fight for a chance.
We'll see how that plays out, man. And again a very impressive run for Cien, the homie. Again, still being able to get a piece of that action, right? With a $5,000 prize pool, still pretty significant at that, right?
好，咁啊又喺度宣傳嗰隻垃圾 game 應該。話你再遠啲啊！你唔好話你喺屋企嗰本，你喺屋企你喺嗰本數學作業的第一個格仔度寫。
Yeah, and I've got no brakes on this train for Street Fighter Duel because as soon as I'm able to download that game, it is going to.
我琴日都話
because it is available right now in China. The global version is going to be coming soon, but the Capcom authorized is the Epic Legend Reborn on mobile. Like I said, you can download Street Fighter Duel now.
No contest 超文都成日都寫
join the journey with millions of players to become the best fighter as we've been watching some of the.
有咩產品個仆街就仆街兩次，我成日都睇呢個，做乜鳩嘅？呢個以前好似俾人 ban 咗，之後睇翻呢。
Pretty much bring it down with the World Warrior program as we've seen so far. You can get
有冇人真係搭飛機嗰陣時係咁樣？呢個睇過一次。搭飛機嗰陣時咧，呢個 scan 行李嗰嚿嘢。
Again, these events happen monthly, so head on over to CapcomProTour.com for all the information you need on how to register. They're covering such a wide array when it comes to the fighting game community. It is literally worldwide. Hence, World Warrior title.
我覺得會有嘅。
A spot at Capcom Cup. Figure out
which one
you are eligible for over at CapcomProTour.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone down to the nitty-gritty. It's about to be gut check time with our top 3 remaining from our initial start from the Asia Southeast region. We are very much so looking forward to it. Man, we're going to get some more Red Bulls before we do that. Actually, y'all should be doing the same. In fact, get those snacks ready. Be sure to hydrate yourself. Excuse me, getting ahead of myself. We will see you when we resume the top 3 after this break. Time to fly. Time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand.
多謝你嘅救援。飛蛾撲火係咪啊？咁解？紙包唔住，呢個都唔知叫乜啊！多謝你嘅救援。其實可以點咧？你鎖咗嘅話，喺入邊卡住啦。呢個咩嚟係咪聽埋佢講嘢咧？我唔係好想轉支咪。咁有啲嘢嘅，我最近睇咗成分鐘都係乜都冇。咁佢話俾我知後邊，我有乜都冇啊！喺度，嘥咗成分鐘啫。我嘢諗乜都冇。哇，好痛！
Yeah, you know I'm ready. Trying to read each other here? At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important.
High five.
Hit them with a stopping bomb. More fuel for the fire. Cook them up. Breaking on them and lay down some.
呢個係探杆嚟，呢個喺度。呢個唔係杆，呢個咩嚟嘅？呢個咪攞油嚟嘅。 乜鳩啊？得個青瓜喺度。你勁喎！動物定植物嚟㗎嘛？嗰個。 呢個有啲咩睇啊？佢冧我有啲嘢冧我。呢個咩 Friday 嗰個咩啤啤熊啊？咩嗰個咩星期五嗰個唔知乜鬼嘅 Friendly 啊，好似。有啲咩好睇啊？呢嚿嘢唔係 call 機嚟嘅咩？點解呢個可以攞嚟做酒精嗰個即係酒精嘅咩？呢個用七酒精已經醉咗啦，佢已經。係咪水嚟嘅呢瓶？保齡球啊？有啲咩睇啊
？8 players entered and 3 remain to see who comes out on top for the Capcom Pro Tour spot for the Southeast Asia region, and it has been
啲日本人去啊，我見普基拿去咯，仲有邊幾個 ？Friendly 我哋嘅新版，得等緊。
We've been, I'm running out of voice to give these games.
佢而家 part 2都出到，等 part 3。
I don't believe you for a second because this is where it gets the most exciting.
ACG 會去嘅。
When you get to that top 3 spot, especially with how our stories have been
pretty
much set up, and seeing how it actually unfolded towards the end, it's one of the most gratifying experiences.
不過應該零消費㗎啦，齋行。
See how it all plays out.
同我啲女都影下相，睇下啲 cosplay 妹妹啊。
We do highly encourage you guys to check out the VOD, but let's give it a little breakdown with the bracket itself, right? We do have ourselves one player already established on the winner's side of grand finals. That is indeed Brandon. Just waiting his turn out down in the loser's shark pool below. In the finals, Bells versus Lacuna C. Lacuna C has been having the run of his life, by the way, with a very impressive trail of bodies. Took down Captain Y in his run back in multiple tournaments, actually, right? Lacuna C, Captain Y have been going through it with the versus community. Did have themselves, pretty much run backs in various tournaments in general.
咁啊，邊有份 ？Evo 有 ，Tokido 應該去啩。其實佢哋去我都係佢睇佢哋嗰啲 SmackGG 嗰度 share 話自己 register 嗰個 Evo 我先知，佢都冇個 list 話去唔去。
In the loser side,
所以我先至
like we said, Lacuna C has been making
所以我先至知佢唔會咯。
and I feel like
有街路，不過佢係有個 big news， 我都唔知有幾大，有幾 big 嘅 news。
But we do have the thunderclap, which can help mitigate some of that neutral pressure. And when she, not as much really.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is. Against Thunderclap, you're looking for that spacing to utilize your low normal. And Falk has she's got a pretty far low medium kick. Yeah. And she's already playing at that range majority of the time.
True. So this is an uphill battle. But
其實我想佢宣佈有 beta 玩咯，
有
beta 我哋可以玩，應該差唔多啦。
You can put into your win condition.
因為隻 game 都玩得啦。
We immediately
佢出 beta
exactly how that
即係試一試都唔奇啊！
Look how fast he's pushing him into the corner.
That's fine.
Look,
out of the corner he goes.
咪佢哋隔唔隔？日本使唔使隔到成都唔知嘅，可能唔使咯。同埋佢哋隔唔隔冇所謂嘅，佢哋都 佢又唔係嗰啲，佢哋嗰啲弓又唔係我哋嗰啲咁嘅，我哋又都唔係我哋嗰啲弓。
Bells is going at 100 miles a minute, and Lacuna C
而家衣服冇有 smash
喎，所
以爭好遠。即係任天堂都自己搞比賽都唔打衣服。哇！呢個一開 V， 壓死喎機會。咁啊！一場要等緊佢一槍，等到佢一槍我真係，只要等到佢一槍就贏。其實佢哋隔離，佢哋去隔離都冇乜所謂。佢哋咪喺酒店度開 live 咯，之前都試過啦。
And it all came crumbling down off that first check on the
即係佢哋嗰啲弓同我哋嗰啲弓都爭好遠，都唔係大不利嘅，我覺得。還可以。始終埋身嗰波風好難受。埋係點埋佢啫嘛。美國唔係講緊依家唔使啫，即係上年嗰陣時仲要，佢都係咁樣過去打啫嘛。打一個咩 SF League 都係咁打，職業選手係話之理啊，冇乜所謂。佢哋有本錢去隔離。
Comes out swinging. Wow, yep, it's that stand medium kick, which we've been seeing the entire day. Just such an impressive tool, and now it's looking opposite of the first game. Lacuna C is the one pushing Bells corner to corner, coast to coast.
呢個升唔錯，又夠慢，一下升暈咗。
Out of the day. We haven't seen Lacuna play like that ever. To establish his ground with that uppercut to take the game. That was extremely risky.
Like, I mean, the only other player we've seen
即係唔係職業選手唔會去嘅，我覺得。
has been Brandon, who's
已經唔係以前嘅衣服啦。
So that confidence is what you need at this point, and Bells like shaking their heads. Beat Brandon.
I was gonna say that was an SKZ moment, right? You get knocked down,
即係捱唔到個隔離
looking for the stun, dashes up on their wake up, and then EX uppercut. We've seen
職業選手咪去咯。
Way too strong.
職業選手你唔好人。
Way too strong on the side of
職業選手佢哋嘅工作就係打比賽。咁佢哋。
Bells is just losing
今次有啊，
the will to keep moving forward, and there
今次冇 CPT 分咋，但係贏都可以入交級啊！呢個係第一個 Capcom 嘅 offline tournament EVO。唔知係咪分咧？好似直接贏到，直接晉級嗰啲嚟嘅。係佢哋啲成本都係 sponsor 俾嘅啦。哇，靚位呢個！我喺中段打個 Mitty， 搣到兩邊就可以打個 TC。靚聲。
I love those shots.
They're so good.
It's so bad for you.
It is, but it's so good.
Lacuna C now establishing the pace again. Preemptive normal placement. That standing medium kick getting a ton.
哇！打個即哇想偷雞，呢個幅都幾勁。
Standing medium kick, but the crouching leg kick as well. Lacuna C
未必㗎。今年唔同以前啦。
Running away again. It's that same game plan of I'll stay close, I'll stay far.
今年真係唔同以前。
Drive this car now, all right? I'm just a co-pilot right now. I'm taking for a ride.
回報細咗好多啦，同埋麻煩好多。以前就即係大家都即係有啲 casual 玩家都去參馬場。
Again, the low confirmed.
先打 PS4 緊㗎啦。我查下 Red Bull sponsor 部電腦 sponsor 1000部喺個會場度俾你打街霸咩？你唔係嗰啲大 sponsor。你點樣可以確保每一部電腦都一樣嘅 quality？
No armor elbow, but again, we're even on that. You don't really get the best situation afterwards because Lacuna C just reset.
Look at all the meter that Lacuna possesses right. Okay,
一定有日本選手嘅，多唔多係一件事啫。一定有嘅，多唔多？呢都係衣服比，呢都係 Capcom 比賽。咁犀利！因為人哋打 Cap， 人哋打 CPT Top 3，你喺邊啊？
Like there's already a normal ready to intercept, and now using the critical art to put Bells in a one-touch situation. I love spending the resources.
係啊，所以咪打 PS 啊。
Any low,
所以唔係打 PC 啊。
But this is where you can confirm if you're really a Laura player. Is this pressure?
Oh my god!
哇，靚喎！呢個 idol 踢。
Yikes! Oh!
喂，爭啲，但係太遠啦，升唔到。
You thought you could dash up in there? No, sir. Lacuna C 100% ready for that movement.
That was so good from Lacuna C, and again, it just feels like every single time that Bells is trying to approach, it's already there. The anticipation from the side of Lacuna C, it's like they're seeing into the observations are just too potent.
And there's a lot to be said with the discipline from both ends,
yes.
Right? You can really see Bells really trying to push it. Pretty consistent with it, actually, with the mixes. In the certain opportunities but there's also something to be said about
唔好話你自己都唔夠機，唔好話整嗰個即係攞去 sponsor， 鋪又多。有㗎，一定有幫助。越高越勁㗎啦，即係啲人去到話240嗰啲，可以真係可以減2 frame delay 啊，大概1至2 frame。可以。但係比賽主辦單位會唔會嘥抌咁多本去刷到240？可能都係最多可能60已經好勁㗎啦，其實多數玩到60咯，之後去到100幾就算。sponsor 同埋咁咪 sponsor 呢啲嘢就。即使係 Sony 都好，多機都好，佢要攞出嚟送俾你，應該都有啲差距。應該就直落㗎啦，30㗎啦，都冇嘢好睇，賣唔到佢。我覺得賣佢嗰波有得打嘅，但係 Laura 一水唔到隻福咧，咁就等死啦！呢個可以博興。好靚喎呢個，嗱呢個埋到佢啦，一水一打，嗱嚟啦，應該要 Laura 應該要咁樣贏咯，咁樣俾人打翻轉頭，你話點算？加㗎明唔明？因為佢係4 frame 嗰個加1咧，但係福係4 frame。都冇得計，咁又未至於嘅，即係正常嗰啲強哥咯，印度佬啊、Bison、Poison 嗰啲咪得咯。你攞隻咁嘅西角點打？即係呢啲角色咧，你呢角色只會喺呢個賽區見到嘅，即係 Laura， 你唔會喺你喺美國都會見到嘅，不過嗰隻就我諗都係都開 Poison 咯。哇 ，Lancer 佢可以呢個時候打到佢由 Top 10 loser Top 16打到去呢度，幾犀利。Adam 咪特殊例子嚟嘅，佢又唔係淨係開 Laura 啦依家，所以即係 Poison 係 top 噶嘛 ，Laura 係中間。如果唔係 Laura 有利，佢都開 Poison， 即係大家都5波一定開 Poison 先。Lancer 要打2拳先殺得死啊 Brandon， 有冇計？嗰隻嗰隻好勁喎，嗰隻係頂點嚟嘅喎。其實佢係佢啲對手渣咗咯，主要係 Urian 啊 Cammy 渣咗，咁刀時咪勁咗。即係佢大家都係削，但係你削3刀，嗰邊削10刀，咁咪令到佢變相勁咗咯。但係下邊 buff 上嚟嗰啲咧，又未去到嗰個 level， 所以咪令到刀時唔勁，所以係咁。即係以前係屈機，以前係大家都即係以前勁，以前勁，但係未到最勁係因為上面嘅醫生好勁咯，因為上面斬咗落嚟，係咁上下。打到嗰隻 Kudo， 佢係佢依家話咩？佢依家攞住個成績表喺度揾緊呢個 sponsor， 睇下有冇機會睇下揾到真係喺美國揾到個贊助，唔係留學有計。其實佢成日咧嗰隻 Sabi 係成日都比賽見到佢嘅，人都好勁，即係常勝，即係佢唔係冠軍，但係佢係嗰啲成日都係 Top 8出現啊，嗰時候出現，即係應該都有翻咁上下實力。不過佢始終都係業餘人士。如果日本唔係有啲咩大比賽，佢都企唔到喺，即係都上唔到直播，所以大家都係感覺上都係即係覺得佢唔勁，但其實佢就係老市場出現嘅，真係。
and he just faced off against Bell. There hasn't been a single Luke in sight. I feel like the amount of control he's had and the
應該好勁嘅，我覺得佢即係可能勁過佢勁過美國同埋佢勁過美國同埋或者英國嗰隻嘅，我覺得嗰啲 hit confirm 好準，但係好準。不過佢對手太勁啊嘛，只係即係大佬，即係大家即係呢度要打，即係佢喺即係呢個 Lancer 喺東南亞要打 CN 打 SAC 打 Brandon 咁樣，嗰邊嘢都要打 Sako、Daigo、Fudo、Tokido 咁樣，摸摸池咁打西啊！但係差佢爭幾遠，跟住打完之後仲要打 Ita 神啊，跟住打佢啲牛鬼蛇神大佬。英國都係打 Hormax， 屌你嗰邊打20個 Hormax， 咁點打？Well, and it was all based on a block DP from Brandon. Brandon sending it early and getting punished. 所以即使日本有啲勁人咧，你即係你覺得佢唔係好勁，即係佢係勁，但係佢係勁，但係你唔哇死我！即係佢贏，佢唔係你唔覺得佢好勁係因為佢上面啲人太勁。其實佢都係好高水準嘅。哦，爆炸！哇，你咁樣 friend 底，好難幫你喎。呢個爆炸加無，哇！呢個星有陣個天都幫你嘅感覺。靚擋，死都唔喐。原來呢個跳咧，呢個跳令到 Brandon 升唔到，正常啊，打衣服啊嘛。我同你講 ，PS4 同埋 PC 可以爭3 frame 嘅，大概3 frame 左右，最少係3 frame 咯。如果加埋啲配置，如果加埋你啲配置唔係最 top 可以爭4 frame，爭4 frame 都有機會。但係當然，所以你帶衣服打翻 PS 咁你就要將個人 delete 翻3 frame。如果唔係你打，如果你唔係你國 combo 會搏，會叻 combo 3 frame 好多㗎啦3 frame。總之爭3 frame 左右大，所以好即係你如果你打衣服你係CA。咁樣係，你都係開槍啦！你孖腳唔識用。OK 嘅大佬，依家睇個對戰都係，即係多數都係福贏。Brandon 贏係因為一水打死咗佢，個立回都係福有利。加埋先咪3 4 frame 左右。咁你打你本身 PS 都 delay 4 frame 幾，咁你最多咪4 frame， 最多咪即係4 frame 就變 delay 3 frame 都好死咗啦。即係你諗下，你可以即係收窄幾多？你冇可能 delay 你可能爭5 frame 噶嘛，因為佢 delay 4 frame， 你爭5 frame 負1 frame。以知未來都唔係144嘅，而家360嘅，有啲係黐孖筋240好似。越嚟越癲嘅啦，而家啲 mon 嗰啲咁嘅。解像度，嗰啲咁嘅 refresh 嗰啲嗰個頻率 hertz。For the side of Lacuna Sea, right? There's just been so much that has been put on the table to counter. There's no sort of fireball game that he can play against. Yep. 差不多了，我都想有啊！街5又唔想開，街6又想打街霸，咁但開街4咩唔通我？
Has not been on display here because Brandon is not letting him get to that space, is not letting him control that zone, but still getting all these counter pokes excellently, and Brandon's not able to play. 應該係福成個比賽都係福，即係成日節奏都係福有嘅，都係輸過1水。 We saw it crumble all the other opponents, but no crumbling on the side of Luke. Oh no.
我喺街4，又未至於嘅，我覺得 Lancer 係只係佢手軟啫，隻手揸緊拳頭就有計㗎啦。我哋依家 Jungle 呢個 Tie Combo 咧，佢諗住打埋佢之後開 VT， 但係點知打之前就俾人即係 AI Jungle 咧就開唔到 VT。哇！呢個解答睇住你解。咁啊，攞傷害。咁啊，攞傷害得唔得？升唔升嘅呢個靚升？又中。我覺得福贏嘅都有佢，福會贏。至少一 set 福贏啦，唔好話下 set。
I can't imagine what it could have been because he opted to go for a light punch follow.
始終我睇落喺個節奏，我覺得係，我睇個節奏，我覺得係福會嘅，即係個對抗內容，福打得好啲。
You know, I might have spoken too soon. Brandon definitely crumbling under the pressure a little bit in that second game. It looked opposite of what we saw with the confidence. So I need to see him bounce back because
佢唔擋㗎啦，佢踎低避嘅而家啲人。
And has to feel good about that.
And that was just all from a very, very awkward exchange.
係啊係。
係
啊，因為原本14 frame 啊嘛，咁如果你個魔可以即係高解像度，令到你個反應時間攞多1-2 frame， 你咪有時變咗咪好似普通嗰啲16 frame 確認咁咯。不過如果我要即係我要。 唉，買個200幾赫茲嘅魔，我唔係好想買啦。Hello，Rodas 大哥喎，你收個小弟喎，Rodas。嗱有錢啊，有錢就唔係老細啦，每人比我更窮啊！我好似我嘅貧窮程度同梵高在生嘅時候一樣。 我死咗之後咧，我啲遺物咧就會好值錢。喂，但係升唔升嘅呢個真係，我覺得可以。冇啦，唔得。我覺得其實咧 ，Brandon 成日想 stream 呢個福咧，都係做唔到。 哦，多數都係呢啲條件都係1MS 㗎啦，都係你即係你唔使諗，哇咁都升唔到，幾慘！即係你如果大家即係佢所有講緊嗰啲解像度嗰啲條件，144唔大，你咪轉240咯。其實揸 film 嘅啫，未到話好大嘅。不過有啲確認咧，真係揸 film 就。 即係揸 film 就講緊係爭一個倍咯。嗱幾間，依家啲人唔係嘅，依家研發到係，依家啲人啲科技已經研發到係有少少關事。哦唔係㗎，係真係個畫面快啲嘅。 你真係得，你好難講。我見到有條片係講點解係關事，其實係因為格機60 Hz 啊嘛，即係1秒就每60分之1秒就會轉1格。咁即使你個 mon 60秒，你個 mon 咧都係60秒轉1格咧，咁樣你就會發現，你又會發現，即係佢哋唔係同步啊。 即係所以就令到嗰個畫面嗰個即係即使上面1格咧睇落都係歪歪地，因為你要個 mon 隻機又會60秒1格，跟住個 mon 60秒1格，但係佢哋唔係同步一齊60秒1格咧，咁就令到嗰個刷新時間有啲唔同。 但係都係爭2 frame 咯，格 game 2 frame 爭好遠，即係可以爭好遠。但係如果你係一個好高，即係你淨係玩 confirm 嗰啲咁嘅角色咧，就係啦。如果你係求撚奇個玩家，就應該唔係好覺。哇，靚喎呢個 reset！ 但係當然最即係如果你係講緊個 mon 連個 input delay 都有嘅話，就咁嗰啲又另一件事啦。咁嗰啲就你未去到呢個級數咯，即係你個 mon 唔使討論呢啲嘢。哦，唉，我。 即係60都好夠㗎啦，咪即係60都，即係如果你唔夠勁嘅話，你240都係放緊唔到。哇！咁樣攞埋佢啊！喂，唔緊要 ，OK， 推翻出嚟。第2次啦 ，Brandon， 好棄權，跟住之後，明明係 confirm 錯，但係做棄權一嘢 ban 落去嗰個對手度。
That you were donezo after that, but Lacuna C staying alive. Counter hit, that means that was an anti-air attempt and Brandon got stuffed. Nice.
Ooh, big confirm.
Yep, and the corner positioning is huge here, but no, finally busting out. Lacuna C has been holding onto that EXDP the entire time.
That exchange could have been so pivotal for Brandon if it had it paid off in his favor. But Lacuna C, again, being able to dictate the pace is going to be a very significant trigger activation, right?
我突然間呢啲畫面嚟就我有啲審美疲倦啦。呢啲畫面睇咗7年啦，幾好睇嘅嘢睇咗7年都覺得都係一個大鑊。哦，如果你有都係你有 input delay， 所有嘢建基於有冇 input delay。如果你冇 input delay 咧，其實你冇 input delay 嘅話，所有嘢都不能討論，即係唔可以做比較。哦靚，打翻2-2。PS4 60，PS4 梗係唔得啦。PS4 同 PC 本身都有個時間差啦。你就加埋個 mon 個 hertz 有差別。
I think he would have taken that round, but
potentially,
yeah, dropping it at that moment, and Lacuna C gets off scot-free. Now 1 game away. Are we going to see a reset? Is Lacuna C going to make the ultimate losers? The ultimate losers.
I mean, we'll see. He's got
總之個畫面嗰個刷新畫面，即係 game 俾佢 PS4 俾佢 mon 度顯示出嚟嗰個數字就即係要嗰個同嗰個 frequency 唔係一致。
Yeah, and I love that, Lacuna can actually challenge on these normals as well. Spacing out Luke excellently, keeping at that range where it's a little bit more difficult for Luke to go.
咁啊，一燈一鋪為咗2啊，up 有啲魔，up 啲踢嘢。咁有跟過一陣㗎，雖然我屋企個配置係最扭嘅配置。PS5 大街霸係絕對係讓緊你，可以 PS5 個街霸可以 delay 6 frame 嘅。咁啊，而家 PC 講緊係1.5 frame 1 frame 至 1.5 frame， 絕對係讓緊，絕對係讓緊大家㗎。係㗎，槍 game 嗰啲玩緊呢啲㗎啦。咁嗰啲就嗰啲啦，因為格 game 鎖60 frame 啊嘛，你咁高唔乜意思。哇，碰死咗啦呢個！
Yeah, doesn't even have to spend the
唔使用 CA 嘅。哦 ，Brandon 距離 Capcom 級1步之隔。
The air fireball. Brandon was waiting for an opportunity, and Lacuna
佢努力終於有回報啦。冇㗎，佢要就埋 PS4 咁樣搞到就。IG 芒好似叻叻地喎，你聽過？等街六啦，呢啲我已經唔會再面對呢啲角色㗎啦。
Oh, this is very important, right? He opted to go for the V-skill charge earlier off of the uppercut to get himself in this particular position now. Lacuna is getting forced into this little by little. The big confirm getting not only the damage, but this specific scenario. This will apply so much pressure. 1 frame trap away.
死㗎啦喎！一個打頭2打死啦，靚推翻嚟，推頭先。但係都大局已定啦，我覺得。
Taking too many chances. That could have been a giant jump in for Lacuna, but now here we go. Brandon.
槍 game 又好突然嘅啲嘢，同格 game 比，槍 game 突然好多。即係碌嗰個科技法都唔夠嗰啲縮筋快。哇！殺埋！佢諗住嗰下出 C chip 㗎啦。哦 ，Brandon 贏咗。
Brandon takes it at the very end, even though the confirm didn't come from the critical art. Knew that Lacuna
又碌，係咪到嚟又嘅？我記得隔離好似 Bison 贏，跟住之後又好似而家唔知邊個角色。哦，你講 Apex 嗰啲，因為嗰啲大到咧係要收圈嘅喎，大佬。而家啲講緊 Rainbow Six 嗰啲啊，佢咪用豪鬼用阿龍咯，大把角色揀。波星一定有3、4隻嘅。哦，咁啊 ，Capcom 級啦。今年 Capcom 級應該唔係打 Regional 啦，應該真係可以去美國打啦。曲芒打街霸好似怪怪地。曲芒你咪嗰個怪畫面，因為嗰個畫面咪同出邊打機好似有啲唔同咯，可能個距離感有啲唔同嘅。
你轉彎嗰個位突然間個波快咗，因為個波曲咗咧，嗰個行嘅速度怪怪地。哦 ，Brandon 都贏咗啦，佢好似都練得幾辛苦，每日都有 Quick 練習。係咯，你放個波，跟住 parry 唔到個波，跟住轉彎位個位。
Just committing, like being stuck between a rock and a hard place, because after that commitment with the punch, he had critical art anyway. So you were done. No matter what. It was so scary.
After the no chaser had happened, hitting with a tail.
要翻工啦。
You missed the window to cancel into the critical art. So